I'm a fish boy who skates for Team X Blades with a leprechaun who plays basketball. Come to my smart house, meet my alien sister. Don't come hungry because I'll bet my mom can't cook.
Hello everyone and welcome to Mum Can't Cook, a Decom podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Andy Farrant.
And I'm the other host, Luke Westaway. Andy, pretty exciting news.
Okay.
I received an interesting proposition in my email inbox. It was
what did I tell you about those?
You told me to seize opportunities, carpe diem.
Okay.
That's what I've done.
Sure.
And boy, was this an opportunity! An ancient tome that someone owned,
Right.
a man called Gary, and he invited me round. Ancient Gary. He invited me round to his garage, and he showed me this tome.
To his garage,
and it contains the instructions and the prophecy regarding the return of Sherlock Holmes.
The return of
Sherlock Holmes.
What, they're going to put out some new books, or I think he's out of copyright now, actually. So you can just write a Sherlock Holmes book if you want, which is pretty good.
No. I mean the real one's coming back. I mean the real Sherlock Holmes is coming back. This book foretells it that Gary made.
Right.
I mean owns.
Okay.
It does look a bit like Gary made it.
Yeah. But it's ancient.
The pages aren't really stuck in.
Like Gary, it's ancient.
Yeah.
Sherlock Holmes, though, is a fictional character. Yes.
Well, no. He's coming back. He's not. Is he?
Yeah, he's a literary creation.
Hang on.
of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the
You're
famous
showing your whole ass on
spiritualist
this
and
one.
Leslie author.
Hang on. I'm googling it now. Arthur Conan Doyle was real. Born 1859, died 1930.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not saying that Arthur Conan Doyle isn't real.
Right. We're changing your story already.
Sherlock Holmes is a literary It's like Harry Potter.
Okay.
Not
Sherlock
a real boy.
Holmes, date of birth. January 6, 1854. Says right here on Google.
Okay, well, fictional characters can have dates of birth as well, can't they?
How?
By someone in a book saying, what's your date of birth to them, and then making it up, the author going, yes, it'll be the 8th of May or whatever.
Okay, well, Sherlock Holmes isn't made up, because otherwise I would have spent £4,000 on a very useless sheaf of papers.
Okay, well, all these pictures you're looking at here, those are the actor Benedict Cumberbatch. That's not Sherlock Holmes.
Yes, he's coming back.
I don't understand what you mean by coming back. What's he going to do when he comes back?
Well, all right. Look, normally I would charge for this sacred knowledge, but fine. You know what? All right. Look, says here, Sherlock Holmes will come back when the moon is full and an asteroid shower is. Sherlock Holmes will come back when the moon is full and an asteroid shower is. Sherlock
is
Holmes
it just
will
repeating the same
back and the
text over and over again?
Yeah. What could that mean?
It probably means that Gary lost interest in this scam halfway through, I would say.
Okay, maybe I should phone Gary. Hang on. Gary, hi. Yeah, it's Luke. Yeah, no, it's good.
How many JPEGs of Benedict Cumberbatch are on this laptop?
I'm just feeling a bit nervous because I showed. I know you said don't show it to anyone, but I did show it to my friend Andy, and he's pouring scorn on the whole concept. Frankly,
it's Basil Rathbone now, shirtless Basil Rathbone.
Yeah, no, I'll put him on. Andy, Gary wants to talk to you.
Yep. Hello, Gary.
This should set things straight.
Luke, this appears to be a Domino's pizza. They're asking me what I want on it.
Okay, pass it back.
Okay.
Gary, why did you pretend to be a pizza? The line's gone dead.
Okay, well, if I were you, Luke, my advice would be throw that book into the sea, and then, when Sherlock Holmes does come back, we can go and fish it out, and it'll have all the information we need. But for now, I think it's probably best in the sea.
Okay, all right. I suppose let's move on to the next order of business, which is a scrupulous recap of the Disney Channel original movie Avalon High, which, hey, coincidentally, does actually bear some similarity to my predicament, because similarly, it is starting from the completely bullshit point of view that King Arthur was real, and it never ever lets go of that idea even for a second, and it kind of makes the whole film not work.
It's
fine.
It's set in a high school where a lot of the people who go there are reincarnations of mythical Arthurian characters.
Yes.
But, it's easy to sort of It's easy to draw parallels, isn't it, with the court of King Arthur? For example, Luke, you and I, we podcast here at this round table, don't we?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
There's that old man in a cloak who's always spinning past us, emitting gas, like Merlin.
Yeah, that's right.
You'll remember when I found that big knife in a pond. Do you remember?
Yeah, that's right.
That lady gave it to me and told me to put my fingerprints on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So it's easy to draw such parallels, but probably not worth basing your entire life around, as the characters in this movie do.
Yeah, that's true. We're doing that thing where we procrastinate talking about Avalon High.
Yeah,
but you know what? I don't know why, because I actually really liked this film. It kicked ass. I love Arthurian myth.
Yeah, you're on the record as saying that.
And you know what? You know how Star Wars fans are never happy and they're like, I hate all the Star Wars and all the Star Wars they make is awful.
Yeah.
But like, if they make
I've
no
never
Star
seen
Wars,
a good Star Wars. I'm the world's biggest Star Wars fan. Yeah.
I'm the world's biggest Star Wars fan. I've never seen Star Wars that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's me. That's me here. I'm like, wrong. What?
You could look like more of a clown filmmakers.
Yeah, but also I do love it, and so it's brilliant. And look, sometimes we'll watch one of these decoms and I'm like, okay, they made this one for Andy, and I'm just sort of along for the ride.
Yeah.
In this situation, they made this one for me.
Yeah.
Because it is pulpy, saccharine high school romance, which you know is my jam.
Sure.
But also, occasionally, knights in armour will be there with heraldry and putting their broadswords in binds and stuff like that. And I'm just...
Yeah. Right,
just
galloping their destriers along the beach.
Oh, my God, don't even. Yeah, it's brilliant. So, they did make this one for me, and I do love it. Shall we hear the trailer?
Yeah, let's go.
Disney Channel presents its newest original movie, Avalon High. For Allie Pennington, being the new girl was getting old.
I'm Will.
I'm new. I mean, my name's not new, it's Allie.
But there's something different about this school.
A lot of people believe that King Arthur will one day be reincarnated.
You mean bring back Camelot?
To fulfill the prophecy,
The return of King Arthur is happening now.
they must unite,
Our destiny is to change the world.
or the legend will be lost forever. Avalon High, the Disney Channel original movie, premieres Friday, November 12th at 8, 7 Central, only on Disney Channel.
Okay, any top line thoughts, Andy, before we kick off?
I think it's an interesting premise. It's based on a novel. I'm not sure if you're aware.
Yes.
And the novel is quite different. They've changed a lot of stuff from the novel. We can get into that later.
Oh, okay.
But I think, having read the synopsis of the book, I think the changes they've made are for the better, which is unusual for a Disney Channel original movie adaptation of a book.
That is strange. There are some changes to the Arthurian canon.
Sure.
I mean, obviously, it's not in high school, but you know what I mean. Like, they've tweaked a few things. The kind of villainous character of Arthur's half brother.
Yes.
It's a half brother in this film, I think, because they didn't want to get into King Arthur having had an incestuous love child with his sister.
Yeah, well, if it was a teenage boy who had a sort of adult son,
It might
have been, unless the prophesized Mordred turned up and was a baby, that would have been easier to deal with.
And that would have been awesome. Do you think it would have compromised the character's status as a sexual hunk if he had had an incestuous love child with his sister?
Yeah, probably. Would have been harder to view him as a sort of sexual hunk after that.
I'm trying to think of like a real classic kind of cinematic sexual hunk. Like, okay, Leonardo DiCaprio, Titanic. Okay,
Yeah, Steve Buscemi, Con Air.
Steve Buscemi and Con Air. Yeah, there you go. If Leo had been on the door in the water and just before he slipped away, he'd have been like, I have a son.
FYI. Before I sink under the waves.
I have a son, but I need you to look him up and help to raise him. And Rose would be like, okay, this is coming as a shock, but all right. No, well, there's one more thing. His mum is my sister.
Kate Winslet just sort of gingerly unhooks his fingers from the door. Well, bye. I didn't tell you his
Rest
name. I'll find him probably.
Rest now, Jack.
I did generally enjoy this as well. It
good
clips
time.
along at a good pace.
Mm-hmm.
There's some pretty good armor and horses and swords and stuff going on.
Yeah,
and it's I don't think it takes itself too seriously, which is fun.
No. It's not too earnest. Okay, we open on a retinue of knights charging through the surf. Rival groups of horseback knights stampede towards each other, and at the head of each party,
raised,
their banners streaming in the wind.
The good knights charge is led by a golden-haired warrior with their sword drawn.
Yes, and the evil knights are led by one with a lance extended in anger. We cut gracefully away from the clash to reveal a young blonde woman lying unconscious on the surf in full plate armour.
Yeah.
She wakes, and as she wakes up, we hard cut to modern day! It was all a dream, and this is our hero.
That's right, she is regular girl in bed.
Yep.
She's on the floor of her bedroom. Ow, she says. Are you okay, Allie? Says her mum. Why are you on the floor? She says that she fell out of bed, and then her mum says she used to do that all the time when she was 4. Just for that 1 year, she was always falling out of bed onto the floor. I bet when I was 4, I wasn't dreaming of medieval combat, says Allie. I was, says mum, brackets question mark.
Yeah, I mean, the first of many signs that something's seriously wrong with mum. Allie's family name is Pennington, which is surely an allusion to Pendragon in Arthurian myth. But that's weird because Uther Pendragon was like Arthur's dad. So
yeah.
Wrong.
Wrong.
It's fine. I don't care. If you're up, says Mum, you can unpack because they've just moved to this house. And she does unpack. She opens a little box and inside are some of her belongings and an Avalon High student's handbook, which she opens up.
It is readable. And
It's
annoyingly,
readable.
it's kind of normal and correct.
Yep.
Except for the one line that I noted.
Oh.
The Simons Library, named after George Simons, a mentor to the late Greg Avalon High, which suggests Avalon High is named after a guy called Greg Avalon High.
Greg Avalon High. I think that's the guy who sold me my...
Damn you, Greg Avalon High.
Oh, that's amazing, Mr. Greg Avalon High. So she pulls out a flyer for track and field tryouts at Avalon High. What's the point? She says huffily, and she screws it up and throws it away.
Yeah.
Downstairs, Mum and Dad are bringing in boxes. There are books everywhere. I see King Arthur and his merry men have once again taken over the house, says Allie. And Mum says, wrong.
Wrong.
Merry men was Robin Hood. Fake fan detected.
Fake Arthurian fan detected. She beheads her with a broadsword. Apparently, Allie's parents won't shut the up about King Arthur. Dad explains it's because they're professors of medieval literature.
Okay.
But Allie says they talk about King Arthur so much that she's starting to dream about him.
Yeah.
But her dream knights have dirt and BO and are missing half their teeth. And Dad says, that's accurate, actually.
Well, I mean, so Dad's like, actually, in Arthur's time...
In Arthur's time,
exclamation mark. Yeah.
Question mark.
In Arthur's time, actually, it was normal to have poor dental hygiene and stuff. And it's like, well, okay. But in the Arthur stories, they are all sort of grand, handsome, chivalrous knights. Because, and I don't know how many times, I can't say this many more times. I feel like I'm going crazy here. There wasn't a King Arthur's time. Wasn't real.
Not a real guy. Yeah.
Not real. All historians agree he wasn't even based on a particular person. He's just a sort of composite of folklore.
Yeah. Of course, back in Superman's time.
Oh my God. Yeah, it would have been
people would have acted this way. What do you mean Superman's time? It's not real. Anyway, Allie says, I don't know why we bother to unpack. We're just going to move in 6 months. And then the parents share a look and say, wrong. Actually, we're going to be staying for 6 months. We're going to be staying for 3 years, says Dad. What? Says Allie. Yeah. This place is special, says Mum. We've been offered contracts at the university. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be at Avalon High until I graduate, and I can try out for track team and finish the season and make friends. Thank you, says Allie, and she hugs and loves on her parents.
She shrieks with glee and runs around in a way that would make me, as her parent, feel awful for her childhood thus far, which is like clearly she's just been putting a brave face on it.
Yeah.
Also, what is the parent situation where they're like roving professors?
Roving professors of medieval history. Yeah.
I don't think that's normal, is it? For professors to sort of do 6 months. That's not even a full school year. That's just 6 months here, 2 months there.
It's like for parties, you can book a medieval historian to come and sort of regale you with tales of Arthurian court.
That could be it, yeah.
Maybe
well, of
that's
course, in King Arthur's day. Hang on, I'm sorry. Did you say King Arthur's day? I thought you were a professor.
Professor. Yeah, you know how like the super rich, they'll have entertainments on their yachts and things like that.
Yeah.
They'll just fly out a professor of medieval literature to tell you that King Arthur was real.
Yeah, I tell you, do you know what, actually? I bet billionaires would eat that up.
Yeah.
It's like that like Roman Empire thing, isn't it? It's like...
And you know, of course, the board of Palantir is much like the Round Table of Camelot, and they'll all be nodding and going, yes.
Yes, it is like that.
Yes,
I'm
you,
Lancelot.
Peter Thiel, are much like Arthur.
I'm Gawain.
And I'm Sagramore, because I kill babies.
Okay, so, right, Allie, she's running. She runs through her new town.
So she's a keen runner, and this is it's slightly a problem, because they obviously wrote this character as being a keen runner. Unfortunately, the actress cannot run in a convincing way. You know, some people just look good running, like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, well, Tom Cruise certainly looks distinctive running. He has a run.
Yeah, you know, the advice he gave to Glenn Powell was film yourself running and then like watch it back and adjust your run so you don't look stupid. And Glenn Powell was like, that was actually amazing advice because everyone looks stupid running. And unfortunately, the actor playing Allie, she does run in a quite a distracting way. She's very kind of stiff and upright. Her arms are flailing all over the place. And she spends so much of this film running. She looks like the T-1000, like chasing down a car. But if he sort of wasn't in full control of his limbs, it's...
if Tom Cruise hadn't told the T-1000 to film himself.
To film himself running,
Film himself running. It's a shame. But I personally was so distracted at this leafy, lush suburb in which she finds herself. It is, of course, New Zealand, where they filmed this.
Avalon High.
Avalon.
In New Zealand.
Yeah. So she runs through, I guess, Avalon, the town of Avalon.
Sure.
She bumps into a boy at the water fountain in the park. Yeah. His hairstyle communicates to us, the viewer, that he is a sexual hunk.
After you, he says hunkishly at the water fountain, and she drinks deep of its waters.
As she watches him slurp from the fountain, everything goes blurry, like she's losing consciousness. Yeah, and she is seized by a vision.
The sight of his gulping mouth causes a reverie in her. We flash to Arthurian times. Allie is in full plate armor and filling a goblet from the crystal waters of a waterfall.
She turns around and hands the cup to a fellow knight who is... this boy. Yeah. His hair is the same in the vision, which is amazing.
Yeah, he's like frosted tips.
Yeah, the same like 2010 sort of choppy hairspray look.
Yeah.
Anyway, Allie snaps back into real life and goes, bye, and runs away.
Yeah.
And we cut to the titular Avalon High and its streaming spires.
Their logo is a knight's helm. The school is a towering sort of castle tower. Mum drops Allie off at the school and asks if she's nervous. Allie says, I'll be fine. I always am on my many first days at school in a way that would make me feel terrible about Allie's childhood up to this point. Yeah,
exactly.
And she explains she'll be going out for the track team later. She goes inside and we see a bullyish lad named Marco doing a bully on a boy named Miles.
Yeah.
He is stealing his locker, I think.
Yeah,
it's quite high concept bullying.
He's commandeering his locker. He's ready to pound this Miles boy righteously, but his violence is interrupted by Will, the water fountain boy, who heroically strides up to Marco and warns him off Miles, and is like, "Hey, get off him! Don't be a bully." And
he comes out like backlit by a corona of holy light from the hallway, and he's like, "Stand aside! Cease your bullying! I am the protector of the weak."
Yes, he says it in a way that King Arthur would have done when he was alive. As Marco storms off, Miles drops the exposition that the bully Marco is actually Will's brother.
Yeah.
Half-brother, says Will defensively.
Step-brother, says Will.
Yeah.
Which is not the same thing.
Oh, does he say step-brother?
He says step-brother here, yeah. And I think they are, in fact, step-brothers.
They are step-brothers, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But in the book, it's revealed later that they're actually half-brothers secretly.
Oh, secretly?
But not in the film. Yeah, secretly.
Oh, right. Okay, so they didn't want to get into Dad's sordid affair.
No, exactly.
Possibly with his sister. Who knows?
There's so much sister stuff. Yeah. Will Wagner is his name.
Mm-hmm. Will Wagner.
A fine name. He sees Allie, who flees. He follows her. Hey, water fountain girl. I didn't know you went to Avalon High. I'm you, she says, and they introduce each other. Now you officially know one person, he says.
Oh, he's being nice.
Yeah.
They kind of nervously chat and flirt a little bit. Allie is repeating herself and then commenting on it constantly like a teen does in a film when they're acting flirty and nervous.
By a 50-year-old, yeah.
Yeah. We find out that Will is the quarterback of the football team, and then suddenly their flirting is interrupted by a kiss on the cheek by Jen, and we meet some more critical cast.
Hey, sweetie. Come on, I want to make sure we sit together in history. Hi.
Oh, Jen, this is Allie. She's new. Allie, it's my girlfriend Jen.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
There you go. Your friends have already doubled.
Wait.
Will,
lipstick.
Jen, where were you guys this morning? Didn't you get my text? 5 burgers for $5.
Allie, this human garbage disposal is my best buddy Lance. Lance, Allie.
Hi.
Hey, did you meet Jen? Jen's the coolest chick in school.
Yeah, that she is.
Thanks, guys.
So, what's your first class?
European history with Mr. Moore.
Oh, we've got that too. Come with us.
So you're probably feeling the simmering sexual tension here between Lance and Gwen.
Jen Grenevere.
Yeah.
Lance, brackets, a lot.
Yeah, he does Lance a lot. When Lance says that Jen is the coolest chick in school, he stares at her for absolutely ages in a way that you couldn't possibly interpret as anything else than naked lust.
Yeah, exactly. Jen is the character of Alexis in long-running crime serial Castle. So if you watched Castle, you'll know
who Jen is. Yeah.
Moving on. It's time for class. Their teacher is Mr. Moore.
Yeah.
He is their history teacher. He opens his class by congratulating Will Wagner on his many accomplishments.
Yeah.
Leading the team to state, class president, homecoming king, straight-A student, and he's polite. He sort of says to the whole crowd, and Will is modest and nice.
Yeah, Mr. Moore here
is
played by the actor Steve Valentine, who Disney Channel original movie fans will remember as playing the boogeyman in Don't Look Under the Bed. But also video game fans will know him as Harry Flynn, the villain of Uncharted 2, Among Thieves.
No.
And he's the voice of Alistair in Dragon Age.
What?
Which is cool.
Alistair in Dragon Age. That's amazing. Okay, that's great. Brilliant. Oh, I like Mr. Moore even more now.
Yeah.
But anyway, so all this like Will glazing is popping off, and Marco from the back of the room goes, I think I'm going to puke.
Yeah.
Sort of aggressively and unlikably.
Allie is given a book about Arthurian legend and laughs mockingly in Mr. Moore's face. He's like, "What? Why do you laugh? Who are you?" And she says, "I'm Allie Pennington." That explains it, he says. Please welcome Avalon High's newest student, Allie Pennington. Her parents are professors of medieval lit and wrote the textbook we'll be using this semester about the real events of King Arthur and his court.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Moore teaches European history, so should he be spending a semester educating the children on fairy myths of Old England?
On European literature? Seems like that's someone else's department.
I mean, a whole semester on a particular fairy myth of a different nation. It's like, there's so much history. There's so much European history that would be that could be so important. The thing is, when childhood is not that long, there are not that many semesters, right?
Yeah, that's true. There's only 3 a year, right?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to geography class. For a full third of the year, we're going to be covering Jonathan Swift's novel Gulliver's Travels. I want a full report on the economy of Lilliput by the end of the week.
We will be focusing exclusively on this, so put away your maps of Middle-earth. We are no longer researching the waterways of Rohan.
This is so stupid.
Okay, so Allie sits down next to Miles, the nerd who was being bullied before, and says hi. He panics and says that she's making a terrible mistake by talking to a snivelling, pitiful worm like him, and it would be best if she strangled him.
Don't ruin your chances to be in the popular group by talking to me, a simple nerd, he says.
Yeah, this is such... I will say that, what was this, 2010?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's a long time ago now, but the ruthless adherence to high school tropes feels a little dated to me by this point, you know?
Yes.
If this was the year 2000, or if this was like 1998, maybe even as late as like 2006 or something, I would say this is like sort of typical what I'd expect from the Disney Channel. But like 2010, come on. Do we have to have like the sort of hero, like quarterback and stuff, and the nerd being like, you should kill me because I'm a nerd.
Quick,
don't listen
get some
to
more
me.
social capital by killing me in front of the popular kids.
Yeah,
Don't like
it's
it.
yeah. Anyway, high school never ends, I guess. So, Allie says that she can be friends with anyone she wants, including Miles.
Yeah.
Who says I want to be your friend, says Miles, likeably.
That's exactly what I've written in my notes. Who said I wanted to be your friend, says Miles, likeably.
Yeah, he makes a really bad first impression, this character.
Yeah. So Mr. Moore breaks the kids up into teams to write research papers on the real events of Arthur. They will draw topics out of a helm. Architecture of Camelot is
wow.
given to one group. Yeah, you can
good
make up whatever you
luck with
want
that.
because it didn't exist.
You're going to hand in your thing and be like, well, my paper claims that Camelot had 3 tall turrets, and at the centre, a magnificent stoker. Wrong! That's not what Camelot was really like, I expect.
My mental image is different.
Yeah.
So Will is assigned to be with a girl called Karen. Can't I be with Jen? He says. No, Jen is with Lance, says Mr. Moore very forcefully. Will picks his topic out of the helm. It is the sports of Camelot.
What? Okay. Good luck. I hope a scholarship isn't riding on this grade. The sports of Camelot.
The sports of Camelot.
Jousting, badminton.
Jen picks the tragedy of Camelot. Your paper is going to be about the love triangle between Arthur, Guinevere, and Lancelot. It destroyed Arthur and Camelot itself. Anyway, no reason I've given you that, says Mr. Moore.
Yeah.
Go on with that.
Mr. Moore says this so solemnly. He's like, it destroyed Camelot, even though Camelot isn't real. Lance and Jen look solemn, knowing that their own situation closely mirrors that of the fall of Camelot.
Yeah, and could destroy their very own Camelot here at Avalon High.
Yeah. So Miles is told that he's with Allie. I'd rather work alone, snaps Miles for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
Because he knows he doesn't have a choice. He knows that the teacher isn't going to go, oh, okay, Miles, everyone else is in pairs, but I guess you can work by yourself.
I guess you can work alone.
So he's paired up with Allie, and he says, fine, I guess she'll do. Allie continues to be nice to Miles because she knows full well that nerds like Miles must be treated with infinite patience, love, and are owed a girlfriend eventually. So she smiles indulgently and does some sort of bantery wordplay with him.
She draws their topic out of the helm. She is given the Order of the Bear. I've never heard of that, she says. Ask your parents, says Mr. Moore. I'm sure they've heard of the Order. The music goes all sinister, and Allie looks over to see that Marco is staring directly at her, looking exactly like James Hurley from Twin Peaks.
Yeah, he's like staring unbelievably evilly at Allie.
Yeah.
Speaking of staring daggers, Miles is then hit with psychic knives.
Yes, he's racked with psychic knives suddenly.
Yeah, he goes, ah, and clutches his temples and sort of like thuds to the desk. He sees a vision of Allie at the sports track. She stops to tie her laces, and then the vision is over. Miles, are you okay? Says Allie. Yeah, I'm fine, he says. Just tie your shoes.
Yeah.
They are tied, says Allie. Then tie your other shoes. And
Yeah,
she's
he
like,
says
okay.
mysteriously and annoyingly. We cut to the sports field. The football team run out. The runners are warming up on the track. They're going to do a timed 400 metres, and the top 3 are going to make the team. Allie suddenly trips, like in Miles's prophetic vision.
I mean,
her shoes aren't tied. She looks to the stand and sees Miles, who stands and walks away, ruining the fact that his dreadful premonition has come to pass.
And when Andy says Allie trips, she doesn't fall over.
No.
She goes like, oh. It's
she's
like,
untied.
oops, look at that. I had to watch this a few times. I think the implication is that her forgetting to tie her laces is a brutal disgrace. And that because the teacher says, are your shoes all tighty-tighty?
Teacher's like, oh,
In quite a...
shoes untied.
Oh, watch your shoes. And I think that's supposed to be the brutal disgrace. I think that's supposed to be like this has really harmed your chances of making track and field or something. I don't know. It's insane to me that Miles came to watch to see if his dreadful vision would come to pass.
It's insane that his prophetic psychic knife future vision chose to tell him about this girl having her shoes untied.
Probably loads
there nothing
worse
higher
things.
stakes?
Yeah, like loads worse things must have been happening to Allie that day than her like nearly falling over on an untied shoelace or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Also, yeah. And when he gets up, he's so cross. He's like, he just looks at her, he's like, for God's sake. It's like, all right, Miles, I'm sorry I didn't spend my whole day dwelling on your
shoelace prophecy.
Your weird command to tie my laces.
He stands up and he's like, so the prophecy has come to pass. They're like, yeah, it's fine.
So Camelot will come to ruin, will
so
it?
Camelot shall fall. So the football starts. Allie takes her starting blocks. She looks at the football team and has a hallucination of them as conquering knights clashing swords together, causing her to miss the starting pistol.
Yeah.
And then she notices it and starts running weirdly and slowly.
But as Will, from the football field, watches on, Allie effortlessly breezes past the competition and wins the foot race. She's told by the instructor, the coach, that it's one of the fastest 400s they've seen in years. Yeah. She made the team.
Yeah, she's welcomed onto the track team.
Hooray.
Later on, she tells her parents of this. She almost broke the school record in tryouts, and they're proud. She says she feels like this is where they're meant to be. Mom and Dad say and do nothing. Allie says she made some friends. Oh, did someone float your boat? Says Dad. Do you fancy someone? Says Mom. And she's like, why are you talking weird?
Also, why are you talking to me about this?
Yeah.
She does, when Mum says, is there anyone that she fancies? Allie admonishes her by saying that she should century up, which I like.
Yeah,
century up,
Mum.
But then, ding dong, here's Miles at the door. We have a paper due, barks Miles the nerd. In 3 weeks, says Allie. I don't like to dilly-dally, says Miles likeably.
Yeah, it's 8 p.m. at her family's home while they're trying to have dinner.
Marge didn't even say hello. Mum and Dad sort of come to the door and flank Allie. Rather than being like, why are you here at 8 p.m. shouting at my daughter? They're like, oh, I assume that this is the boy you have a crush on.
Is this the boy who floats your boat and you fancy? And she's like, no. Later by the fire, they pore over old manuscripts. Miles likably explains that he always does his assignments in half the time allotted to prove that he's better than everyone else.
Yeah, that's a direct quote. Prove that I'm better than everyone else. Cool. Chill, Miles.
Cool, Miles.
Yeah.
Cool guy.
They can't find anything, though, on the Order of the Bear. But Allie notes that since moving to Avalon High, subconsciously, she seems to be acquiring Camelot knowledge. She's kind of dancing around the issue of her weird visions. She knows, for example, that in Arthur's time, they ate mutton and beets and drank sage water only from the north.
Sure.
Fine.
in Arthur's time, yeah.
Yeah, in Arthur's time. But luckily, Miles is then assailed by a psychic knife.
Yeah, suddenly psychic knives fly into Miles's head. Allie is stunned by this. Miles, she says. He asks for ice. It's in the freezer. I'll guess it for you, she says, standing up and stubbing her toe on the fireplace. Miles returns with ice. Here you go, he says. Back to work. Oh no. The prophecy he had, he even though he tried to avoid it, he caused it to be fulfilled.
My God, the fall of Camelot is destined now.
Ow! Ow! Ow!
Here you go, back to work.
Oh, what? Ow! What? How did you know I was going to need some ice?
Coincidence.
No, you did the same thing earlier with the shoelaces.
It's not that hard to guess. You seem pretty clumsy.
But
just drop it, okay?
you got it.
Thank you. Now, can't we just ask your parents about this Order of the Bear thing and save some time?
Fine.
So they go to ask Mum and Dad about the Order of the Bear rather than going through every medieval manuscript in history to find it.
Most of which were written by her mum and dad.
Yeah.
And who would love to talk about it. I don't know why Allie didn't go straight there. If I was, I'd be like, Mum and Dad, why don't you write my paper?
Yeah.
I've with unbelievable luck, my history teacher wants me to do a paper on Camelot.
Yeah.
So you write it.
You do
I
it.
would love
I'll
to.
be playing Nintendo.
Woohoo!
So Mum and Dad, after being asked about the secretive Order of the Bear, go, yes, the secretive Order of the Bear. And they open a secret panel in a bookshelf and retrieve a burlap sack. The music goes all mystical, and from inside the sack, Mum produces a book. Whoa, says Allie. Jackpot, says Miles. And then the cover glows with a kind of holy Camelocian light.
The burlap sack that it's in looks like a shopping tote from Trader Joe's. It doesn't look It unfortunately doesn't quite look old and sacred enough.
No, Mum shakes out a bunch of canisters of extremely choice seasonings and then picks out the book.
Yeah, maybe she picks up this book at Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's, yeah. But it's one of the impulse buys by the checkout.
Yeah. So Mum strokes the tome lovingly. She explains that the Order of the Bear is an ancient organisation that believes King Arthur will one day be reincarnated. Reincarnated? When? The children ask. Arthur will return, Mum explains, when he is truly needed to bring the world out of the dark and into a new age of enlightenment. It's just a metaphor, says Dad warily. You can't be sure, snaps Mum.
Yeah. In the background, there's like a choir just going absolutely nuts during this.
While Mum has a full-on mental breakdown about King Arthur's reincarnation.
Mum is in a state of religious psychosis.
Yeah. So Dad
explains more. He says, as keepers of the prophecy, it falls to members of the Order to search for potential Arthurs in each and every generation. But beware the dark forces.
Led by a reincarnation of Mordred, determined to find the next Arthur and destroy him before he can realise the prophecy. Mom takes over, sort of like flecks of spittle sort of flying from her mouth. If Arthur isn't found soon, she says, Mordred and his followers will send us back into the Dark Ages. Ignorance, humiliation, suffering. Sounds like high school, says Miles, and the children laugh. It's no joke, Allie, says Mum.
Mum slaps the words out of his lying mouth.
Then Mum says, and this is maybe my favourite line in the film, a lot of people take this very seriously.
Yeah. Some more than others, says Dad, gesturing at Mum, who then becomes angry.
Mum shoots him an evil glare. Yeah. Okay.
Later, Allie awakes to hooting.
Hang on. Can we talk about the responsibility of the Order of the Bear to search for potential Arthurs in each and every generation?
Yes, that's quite a task, isn't it?
Yes. So what they're looking...
Well, I'm assuming this is worldwide.
What they're looking for are good people who, nevertheless, are banging their sisters.
And also have an evil half-brother.
Yes. Well, in the fiction of this film in which the Order of the Bear takes place, it's not, Mordred is not Arthur's son / nephew. So yeah, it's like, okay, yeah. So they have to, so the Order of the Bear has to look for good people with evil half or stepbrothers.
Yeah. Or illegitimate sons with their sister.
And are in a committed relationship with someone, but she's cheating.
Also, she's cheating on them with their best friend.
Yes.
In secret.
Yes.
Again, so this is difficult information for the Order of the Bear to glean.
Right. In each and every generation all across the world. And sort of in their social circle is someone who could plausibly be a wizard. Because as you may have guessed by now, Miles is Merlin.
Miles is Merlin.
That role. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say it's quite a challenge. You would probably need more than... I think the 3 or 4 people who currently do it.
I mean, it's implied that this is the only book. This is it. So
yes,
I guess the Order of the Bear is just really hoping that their particular,
I think there are
North American suburb is where Arthur comes back.
I think we learn of 4 members of the Order of the Bear in this movie. So
yes, okay.
They got pretty lucky that Arthur showed up in Avalon. Where they live.
They may have missed loads of potential Arthurs popping off all over the world. You know?
Every day a new Arthur comes out and is betrayed, and the world sinks further into darkness.
Oh no, maybe whether the world is good or bad depends on how the ratio of Arthurs that are recognised and found and allowed to flourish.
Also, maybe we'll get into it later, but what exactly did Arthur do that was so good? I mean, he was limited to a very small geographical area of Britain. I don't know.
Well,
he sort of established some form of egalitarian government in a very specific place.
He established a sort of good and nice rule for everyone in a very specific place that lasted until he banged his sister.
And then his girlfriend went off with his best friend, and they all got into a big jealous fight. And
and Arthur and his incestuous offspring killed each other on the battlefield, and that was kind of the end of it. But there were a lot of wicked, cool adventures
up to that point.
In that sort of up to that point. Yeah.
I'm not sure how well it maps to the modern world, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, not very well. Not very well. Also, like, Arthur was, in the stories, he's a good king, a very, very good king. The platonic ideal of a king. But, I don't think Arthur wasn't doing democracy. Like, the closest he got was the table being round, right? So, like, it doesn't map to the modern world at all. What would a modern Arthur even be? Just like I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll find out at the end of the movie when he comes back.
Maybe.
Later, Allie awakens to the hooting of an owl. She gets out of bed and retrieves the Journal of the Order of the Bear. She takes it in hands and opens it and reads it. Inside, there is a drawing of Camelot, and coincidentally, it is exactly a picture of her high school. So Camelot in this drawing looks like a high school. It's got big, like, double safety doors.
Yeah.
Which...
Yeah, it's got like a basketball court outside.
Cafeteria. Yeah, a lot of parking. She looks like someone just walked over her grave. The picture cross-dissolves to Avalon High.
Do you know what? In my notes it says, Allie looks like Sjwog, which is an acronym for someone just walked over her grave.
Yeah. LSHWOHG.
Yeah. So next day, the music goes all mysterious.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, says Mr. Moore in class, we'll be talking about sewage systems in King Arthur's day.
Good luck.
Great. Yeah. Maybe they'll just sit in silence for 45 minutes. Maybe that's the plan.
There's no such thing as King Arthur's day. Yeah.
Yeah. After class, Allie tells Mr. Moore that she's learned all about the Order of the Bear. Did you read the prophecy? Asked Mr. Moore. What did you think? Allie says that she thinks an order dedicated to resurrecting a fictional character is far-fetched. Mr. Moore looks at her over his glasses and says, it's only far-fetched if it isn't true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I believe, he says, you're a very lucky girl to be able to read the prophecy firsthand. And she's like, oh, I can bring the book in for you if you want to see it. And he's like, oh, no, I couldn't ask you to do that in a sort of manipulative way.
He's like, oh, no, please, I mean, I would love to, but no, I couldn't. He says it must be so fragile, you'd better leave the book where it is. He's acting a bit strangely about it.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about this line, it's only far-fetched if it isn't true?
Yeah.
Which is, like, I mean, yes, I agree, but you must agree that things can be far-fetched.
Yeah.
Mr. Moore. So, like, think of something that is far-fetched.
Lilliput
I'm
is
an
only
alien.
far-fetched if it's not true.
If it isn't. If it's not
there
true.
isn't a real Lilliput.
Yeah, good. If there isn't a real, if my tome that predicts the resurrection of Winnie the Pooh doesn't come to pass.
It's only far-fetched if Winnie the Pooh doesn't appear on the 8th day, rolling back the stone.
But he came back wrong.
Yeah, so that's only far-fetched if it doesn't happen.
Winnie the Pooh looks down at his skeletal claws.
It's like, you can say that now because he's as a copyright, you do what you want.
Yeah,
that's good.
Okay, so in the halls, Miles and Allie catch up.
But Miles is like, "What did Mr. Moore want?" And he's like, "Are you in trouble? Because if you are, I will drop you like that."
Yeah.
Likeably. And Marco watches them leave sinisterly like he's Mordred. Later, Miles is still asking what Mr. Moore wanted, and she says, she tells him about the book. She's off to the cafeteria and he follows. As they go, Allie sees Lance and Jen canoodling on a stairwell.
Yeah.
They see her too and they both avert their eyes. And then we get a musical montage of Allie running like the T-1000 through Avalon.
She runs past a theatre that's putting on a production of Julius Caesar. It's, my notes say, maybe don't mention this because it's weirdly prominent if this isn't going to be a thing.
It will turn out to be a thing.
Yeah, sort of. My first thought was maybe that the director was like putting this on was like, I'll use Avalon High as a way to advertise my Amdram production
also, if
of
you're
Julius
interested
Caesar.
In a production of Julius Caesar, we're doing that.
Hey, if you like this. So she's running through the woods, and then her woolen hat, which is extremely firmly attached, is pulled off her head by fishing wire in a way that's supposed to look like the wind.
Yeah, like the Ocarina of Time fishing pond guy.
Yeah.
Her hat gets yanked off her head by fishing line. She follows
this
it.
This is missing a woo sound effects.
Yeah. She follows it and finds Will brooding underneath a gnarled oak. He has her hat. But it blew right to me. Must be fate, he says. He hands it back. What are you doing out here, she asks. Running and thinking, he says. This is the thinking part. She says, I'll leave you alone. And he says, no, stay, and we shall talk a while. Most people run right past this part of the forest, but it's great in here. In the background on the soundtrack, there's a kind of like eerie howling.
Yeah.
He says, listen, hear the wind in the trees. It's like music. It's like, in the background.
Yeah, the wind is just also like it's just normal. Like the wind goes.
It's like a Halloween sound effects record that they've got.
Yeah, and he's like, hear this? It's like music.
The music of the wind.
But Will is we get a bit of Will characterization in this scene. He's he's nice, he's polite, but he's also like thoughtful. He's a deep thinker. He comes to the woods to sit under this tree and
Arthurian in a way.
Yeah, and just to reflect like a great king. Allie says that football players aren't supposed to talk in the way that he does. He's upset to be stereotyped thus, and he shares that he's under a lot of pressure to get a scholarship, a little bit like King Arthur was.
Yeah. Football used to mean everything to me, he says. I love the game, but now everyone's counting on me to win the championship and get a scholarship. I need one, or I won't be able to go to college like Arthur.
Allie gives him a pep talk.
You're a great athlete. Everybody knows that. And all great athletes have pressure on them all the time. You can't be afraid of it. You have to embrace it. And the way you do that is to remember what victory felt like. That feeling when you lead your team to glory. And if you can live in that moment and want it again with all your heart, nothing can stop you.
Wow. That was... Thank you.
I don't know where that came from.
What if I lose?
Then maybe state wasn't meant to be.
Not the answer I was hoping for.
I'm sorry, I just mean maybe everything happens for a reason.
You think so?
I didn't. But I'm starting to.
So on the phone, why, it's Jen, of course. Will looks at the phone, conflicted, and doesn't answer.
Yeah.
Allie says, you've been together a while, huh? And she's asking probingly, knowing that Jen is an unfaithful snake like Guinevere.
Yeah. Almost 3 years, says Will. Don't ask why I didn't answer the phone, he says. Do you want to run some more? Allie says, wait, I forgot my dad is making burgers for dinner. Do you want to come over for burgers? As friends, they would be friend burgers. Yeah. Yes, says Will. I would love a friend burger. So at home...
It's just very natural dialogue.
Yeah. Well, if you want to talk about natural dialogue, at home...
Oh, my God.
Dad is grilling and Mum is glazing Will. She stares directly at him and says the following phrase. His broad, clear brow in sunlight glowed. On burnished hooves his warhorse trode. From underneath his helmet flowed his coal black curls as on he rode. Will starts edging towards the door.
As he rode down to Camelot. She sort of cradles his face and starts weeping.
Starts weeping onto his cheeks.
Yeah, Mom is talking all about how Will is like such a legend in all of his academic achievements, like King Arthur. Will is being sort of modest and polite.
Yeah, it's a poem about how Arthur became the king Britain needed. It seems like Will did the same thing for Avalon High, she says.
Yeah, she said, Dad says that Will has, with his footballing accomplishments, brought pride back to the school after long last.
Yeah.
There's corn on the cob here for about 20 people, sidebar. This barbecue is unhinged. There's corn on the cob for 20 people and burgers that are small and have been like extremely overdone. They're like hardened discs of carbon.
They should have been eating lamb and beets and sage water from the north.
Sage water only from the north. Yeah. So then the barbecue catches fire because Dad is bad at barbecue.
Dad can't cook.
Dad can't cook. Probably the mum would not be able to cook, but she's too busy sort of cradling
Will's face.
Cradling Will's face and talking about the burnished hooves his warhorse trode.
So Will and Allie walk out and the parents watch them from the porch grinning and sort of making thrusting motions at her.
Yeah, doing sort of obscene mimes.
party at my house after Friday's game, says Will. You should come. Sure, I'd love to, she says. Jen calls Will's phone again. I'd better get going, he says. And Allie walks back inside. So did he ask you on a date? Say her parents. Those were friend burgers, screams Allie.
And storms upstairs. But it's clear to Mum and Dad that Allie is smitten with Will. We cut to the big game, or a big game, or a game. I don't know. It's very hard. It's very hard to keep track and even harder to care. In slow-mo, we see Lance on the football team making seemingly superhuman football moves. A bit like how Lancelot was a superhumanly good sword fighter.
Exactly. With a win over the last place Crusaders next week, the announcer says, Will Wagner and his knights will clinch a trip to the state championships. Will looks to the crowd and smiles at Allie.
And she smiles secretly to herself in a kind of giddy, crushed kind of way. We cut to the party after the big game. Allie and Miles are heading there together. Miles is wearing a jacket and tie and complaining bitterly about why he has to go to a meathead jock party. Then he sees a girl and he's like, maybe I can make a quick appearance.
Go.
They go inside where teens are enjoying popular song, medium teenage crowd, excited, busy voices, party, close perspective by the Hollywood Edge sound effects library. Thanks, Shazam.
It's one of my favourites. Yeah. Allie tries to smile and she tells Miles to be friendly to people. Miles sees the girl and then he says he won't go and talk to her because she's probably a vampire. There is a scream outside. Marco is causing trouble by putting rubber ants and spiders all over the pre-made hot dogs, much like Sir Sagramore would have done in Arthurian times.
What the hell is this? What the hell is this?
It's what Mordred would be up to these days.
But, okay, I think maybe this was taken straight from the novel or something, but Mordred, I mean, obviously they're all supposed to be teens, but Mordred looks like, they all look 25, obviously, but Mordred Marco especially looks 25. And
he's got real, like, Dennis Reynolds from Always Sunny energy. He looks like Dennis Reynolds.
Yeah, and even if he wasn't, like, even if he didn't look, even at the age he's supposed to be, what is he doing putting plastic ants all over hot dogs? This is like an 8-year-old thing to do. He's like,
too bad your party guests are wimps, Will.
Yeah.
Couldn't even handle the rubber ants I put all over the hot dogs.
Couldn't even handle my edgy fake ants. You got pranked, bro.
My twisted jackass style humor.
Yeah, remember that Jackass where Johnny Knoxville put a plastic ant on the hot dog?
On Steve
Bam Margera was like, I won't eat this, there's an ant on it.
It's plastic. I took it off. Yeah, it's fine.
Got him.
Will tells him to knock it off as he's ruining the party, much like Arthur would have done. I regret my mom marrying your dad, says Marco, and him and his gang roll out. Like Dennis Reynolds from Always Sunny.
Drama. There's so much drama. There's so many rivalries. I like this film. So Will and Allie chat some more, but their flirting is interrupted by Miles once more experiencing psychic knives firing into his brain.
Sure.
He goes, are you okay? I'm okay. You will be too, he tells Will.
Yeah.
Meaningfully. Will leaves this conversation because it's bad.
It's confusing.
He doesn't like it. Allie goes to use the bathroom, but like anyone who says they're going to use the bathroom at a house party, what she really wants to do is go through every room and draw. So she starts like kind of snooping. She pokes her head through into Will's bedroom. Okay. She looks into Will's room, and when she opens the door, she sees on the shelves a plastic crown and a red velvet robe, and she is struck by visions, seemingly a half-remembered dream of this crown being placed upon a male-led brow.
Yeah, it's the exact same crown from the illustration in the book of the Order of the Bear.
Yes. Now, the reason that I read that bit of the recap from my notes a bit haltingly was because this is one of those classic decom moments where when I wrote it, I assumed that by the time I read it again, I would know why it happened.
Well, it's another clue that he is Arthur reincarnated.
Okay, well, I mean, a good clue would be that if the name on Will's door said King Arthur.
Well, okay, in the book, his name is Arthur Will Wagner. He's like A.W. Wagner.
Don't
so
get me wrong.
For some reason,
the crown and the robe is a good clue that he's King Arthur.
Yeah.
But why does he have a crown and a robe?
Oh, yeah, I thought about this and I had to think about it for a while, but it's because he's the homecoming king. I assume this is the homecoming crown.
Right. Hang on. When you're homecoming, I know there's a crown and stuff because they were always talking about it in these films, but is there like an
ermine robe? a scepter of office.
Do you also get like a fat little dog to lay at your feet?
You get like an orb. And then you get a bejeweled orb.
Yeah. A big bowl of luscious fruits that only a king could afford.
Yeah, rare spices and silks from the Orient.
Sorry. Maybe all that happens at homecoming. I don't mean to mock it.
Yeah. No, I had to think about this for a while because it was so confusing why he would have a crown in his house. But I think it's the homecoming crown.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. So Allie lurches back from her vision and into the hall where she sees Lance and Jen holding hands and canoodling again extremely indiscreetly.
Publicly.
They're just like making out in Will's house at his house party.
Not even in a room, just on the landing.
She is seen and Allie runs away, but Jen gives chase.
It's none of my business, Jen.
Allie, please. Please don't tell Will.
Don't tell Will that he's being lied to by the two people he trusts the most.
It's more complicated than that.
It really isn't, actually.
Allie, I love Will. I'll always love him. Lance does too. The three of us, we've been best friends since first grade. The last thing we want to do is hurt him. That's why we haven't told him yet. If he found out now, everything would fall apart. It would be like what happened in Camelot.
What did you just say?
You know, the story in Moore's class when King Arthur found out that Guinevere and Lancelot were together.
He lost all faith in everything and everyone and didn't have the strength to go on.
And Will has so much at stake right now with the championships and the scholarship. We can't destroy him like this.
We? I wasn't the one kissing Lance.
Allie, we didn't mean for this to happen. It just did. Lance and I are just meant to be together. Haven't you ever felt that?
This scene is so choice. Jen is like crying and
drawing allusions to Camelot.
Yeah.
No, it would be just like the real events of Camelot if you were to tell him.
I mean, look, when I was a kid, I'm sure I said some stuff to like get out of being in trouble. Yeah. You say whatever you need to, don't you, when you're a kid?
You can't tell Mum that I ate my Easter egg early. It would just be like the fall of Camelot. You speak wise words, brother. I will keep your secret for now.
You don't want Camelot to fall, do you, brother? So Jen says, so you won't tell him, will you, Allie? Allie says, I have to think about it, and she leaves a tearful Jen. On the way out, Miles is like, so, Allie, are you going to tell Will about Lance and Jen? And Allie spins around. She's like, how did you know?
Yeah.
I just had a feeling, says Merlin. I mean, Miles.
Says Merlin the wizard.
Yeah.
She sees Will talking to Lance and she leaves sadly. Will watches her go.
A kind of Merlin who mostly uses his powers to detect who in his friend group is secretly doing it.
Yeah, that's what his incredible Merlin magic is used for. Will watches Allie leave, unaware that he sports the cuckold's horns.
He's comforted by Lance, who looks guilty, like Lancelot did all those years ago.
Yeah. At school, 4 knights clank down the hall towards Allie and then morph into football players.
She's sort of freely hallucinating now.
Yeah.
So Will finds her in the hall and is like, hey, how come you took off early from my party? Behind Will, Jen and Lance are stood staring meaningfully at Allie as if to say, don't say we're smooching.
And mouthing the words, don't say we're smooching, and making sort of throat-slitting motions.
Making the hand motion of the fall of Camelot. So
you know the one. Yeah.
So Allie knows the stakes. So Allie goes, I was sick, and runs away from her crush.
Yeah, in class, Allie bought the book in for Professor Moore.
Yeah.
My parents said it's fine, she says. I'll look at it right now, he says. Change of plans, kids. You're watching a video today while I read this book. We see the class.
Good.
Yeah.
The kids might this way actually learn something.
They learn something. The class watches a video while Mr. Moore pores over the book, smiling and sort of gasping and making little gasps to himself.
Yeah.
Everyone in the class is staring at each other with looks that are dark with portent.
I love this. So yeah, it's like one will look at another, and we know Allie will look at Marco will look over at Will will look over at Jen will look at Lance and stuff.
Yeah.
It's quite good. I think it's nice, and it's a good show don't tell way of reminding us what everyone's relationship is, but it does go on for just long enough that it feels like it's going to go into like a Lonely Island or like bit where it just keeps going for ages and ages and ages.
People looking at each other with dark portent.
Yeah. So later on in class, Professor Moore hands the tome back to Allie in its Trader Joe tote and says the bit about the timing of Arthur's reincarnation was very enlightening and that he loved the book and thank you for letting me borrow it. She's polite and charming to her teacher, and Miles rounds on her. You can stop trying so hard, he says.
Yeah, Miles bollocks her for trying in school, and she tells him to f*** off. Will says hey, but she brushes him off. She can't talk to him right now. Allie opens her locker and gets a mirror jump scare from Marco.
Bang!
I know you know that Lance and Jen are cheating on my jerk of a stepbro, he says. If you know what's good for you, you won't say anything to Will. She says, I won't for my own reasons, Marco. Keep your mouth shut and stay out of my way, he says. And then he shoots her a look as if to say, the fall of Camelot could be riding on this, but I'm for it.
The fall of Camelot is nigh and I'm Mordred. We cut to Allie and Will bump into each other while doing running practice.
Yeah.
Did I do something wrong? Will asks because she's been avoiding him. It's nothing you did, Allie says evasively. It's nothing you did. Good, says Will. And they jog off together. They're friends again and they do some more flirty running. They run once again past the Julius Caesar production. The camera lingers as if to say tickets still available.
Lots of good seats still available.
Lots of good seats still available. When the running is all done, Will sees a flower and picks it for her, like a chivalrous knight. I thought you'd like it. It's no biggie, he says. And later they sit in a magnificent tree, like Arthur and Guinevere, except...
And some other characters.
Arthur and someone... I mean, like, Arthur's had the love interest with his sister.
I think Arthur and Elaine of Astolat, I think. Perhaps.
That'll do, yeah. So she holds the flower. It's strange, says Will. It's like we were already friends before we met. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I thought the same thing, she says. This is a weird one because obviously it's supposed to mean we are reincarnated historical figures. So like we all know each other from history.
From the real place of Camelot.
From the real place of Camelot. But like it doesn't really tally with every interaction they've had so far, which has been like... friend burgers.
Friend burgers. Your mother's holding my face and telling of my warhorse.
Yeah, but then they're like, oh yeah.
It's so easy, our relationship.
It's just so easy, it's just so natural. Yeah.
He asks about her, what she wants to do with her life. I don't know, she says. Something in law, maybe? I'm really big on fairness.
Controversial.
I can't stand people who think they can get away with things like cutting in line. Will says, if I came to the movies with you, could I join you in line? And she's like, no!
Yeah, she explains her zero tolerance policy on
line
cutting.
Yeah.
Will says, when I go into politics, that's how I want to be. That's what you want to do, says Allie? Be a politician? Not a politician, says Will. The politician.
That's right. He announces his candidacy for president of the United States.
And he's not joking. He says he's thinking of being president one day.
Yeah.
She goes, whoa, clearly thinking, OMG, that's what King Arthur would be today.
That's like the modern King Arthur would be the president, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
Luke, when you think about it, NordVPN is a lot like King Arthur, isn't it?
Oh my God, I was hoping you'd say that because yes, it is. NordVPN is a lot like King Arthur because it's brave, it's uniting Britain, and in this universe, NordVPN has not had an incestuous relationship with its sister.
No, it is a sort of a guardian against evil forces, by which I mean the internet being bad.
It is.
Yes, Nord draws its Excalibur, by which I mean its 8,300 servers in 127 countries, and allows you to change your virtual location easily from London to New York to Camelot, the shining court of King Arthur.
That's good. And you might want to change your location to Camelot, because I hear that the streaming services over there get all of the best sports and TV shows and movies.
The sports of Camelot.
The sports of Camelot, the jousts and that. So if you want to watch jousting live from wherever you are in the world, NordVPN is the sensible choice. I've used NordVPN for a long time. I've often thought, subconsciously, unwilling to admit it even to myself, that it's a lot like King Arthur smiling benignly at me from across the round table and laying down Excalibur as I lay down my sword and say, yes, NordVPN is where I belong. It's a great service. I've used it for a long time. It works on basically any platform you can imagine, on your phone, on your computer, Android TV. If you got that, you can make it work on that. I use it on everything, all over the place, every day.
And as the Order of the Bear says, King Arthur is prophesied to return when the world needs him the most. And I would argue that he already has returned in the form of NordVPN.
Hooray.
So to get the best discount off your NordVPN plan, go to nordvpn.com/momcan'tcook. Our link will also give you 4 extra months on the 2-year plan. There is no risk with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. The link is in the podcast episode description box. Now to watch the King's tourney. Just VPN into Camelot.
Oh my God, they've been so badly hurt immediately.
Lance went right through his eye. This is great. Couldn't watch this in the UK.
Andy, as you know, I am a big fan of Arthurian lore.
Indeed.
And it has singled me out as something of a nerd.
Okay.
But I want to go further.
You want to go further into nerddom?
I want to go further into nerddom. I went up to some nerds the other day and I told them all about the Arthurian legend and about the family tree of King Arthur. And they looked at me as if to say, I've heard all that before. Come back when you've been in a games workshop, you fake nerd.
Right.
So how am I going to do? How am I going to impress these nerds?
3 words, Luke, or possibly 1 word if it's in the URL.
Okay.
Insert coin clothing.
Ooh,
and then additionally,
tell me more. Okay.
It's a website, Luke, where you can buy apparel and accessories based on the video games that you and possibly King Arthur loves. For example, Resident Evil Requiem is the hot new game that everyone's talking about. But why stop with playing it? Why not get yourself a replica of Leon's bomber jacket from the Resident Evil 4 remake? Or perhaps you're more of a fan of Ethan Winters. You could wear his very winter coat from Resident Evil Village. And you can just wear that around the place. Perhaps you'd like a hip bag, expands your inventory in the game. They've got a replica of that. Of course they do. And it's available for pre-order right now.
Oh, my word. My favourite item on Insert Coin clothing right now is the Nuka-Cola blanket. It's so lush. I couldn't believe it when I saw that one.
That's so choice.
Folks, go give it a browse.
It's not just clothes as well. You can get accessories. They've got some really cool enamel pins. I'm looking at ones from Cyberpunk 2077 now with the different gang logos that you'll find across Night City.
Cool.
Extremely cool.
All right, well, let me just clothe myself head to toe in Insert Coin.
They've got an Aloe Happy from Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth pin. Sorry, I just got distracted. Anyway, Insert Coin clothing is incredibly good. And Insert Coin clothing have given us a code.
They have.
To give to you, our loyal listeners.
Okay.
So if you visit insertcoinclothing.com and use code Excalibur, I hardly know her.
Okay.
You'll get 10% off online orders. Okay. Codes are not applicable on charity items, bundles, gift cards, postage, and some products at launch. Codes cannot be combined with other deals or promotions and are valid until June 2026.
Hope you can spell Excalibur, listeners.
Yeah, Excalibur. Hardly know her.
Look, if you can't spell Excalibur, you're not the kind of customer that Insert Coin Clothing wants.
Yeah.
And they've written that here. Right, let me clothe myself head to toe in Insert Coin. And now I'm going over to the nerds to see if I can impress them. Yes, as I suspected, they've fallen down in reverence.
Yeah.
They're raising their banners in my name.
Yeah.
We're marching on Camelot.
Oh, this took a turn.
Yeah, it did. We're going to kill King Arthur.
Well, Luke, I'm home after a long day at the podcast factory.
Oh, boy.
And I expect my dinner to be piping hot and ready on the table for me. Is it ready?
Yes, here it is. Let me just open the oven. Here it is. Look, I've cooked for you that's the TV remote. I've cooked the TV remote.
The TV remote.
The thing is, I'm also in I've got a hard day at the podcast factory making podcasts. I've just got no time, Andy.
All right.
So I was distracted. I was thinking about what we were going to watch after dinner, and I cooked the remote.
Okay. Well, let me see what I cooked for you, because we always have this weird arrangement where I cook you dinner and you cook me dinner separately. Let's see what I cooked. And oh no, it's a bath sponge. I've grilled it. It's gone on
You've
fire.
grilled it up. I mean, I'll try and eat it. I guess there's no alternative. Is there?
Well, Luke, I'll just let you finish that sponge. Before I tell you that there is an alternative.
Yes.
That's right. If you want to eat better, but you have zero time and zero energy to make it happen, then Factor doesn't ask you to meal prep or follow recipes. It just removes the entire problem. 2 minutes, real food, done.
All right, here's the situation, Hotshot. You don't have the 3 extra hours every night that you would need to make a meal. Well, that's when Factor comes in. Factor food is already made by chefs, it's designed by dietitians, and it's delivered to your door. You heat it for 2 minutes, and then you eat it.
That's right.
For as many minutes as you want to, I guess.
For more than 2 minutes, I hope.
Yeah.
You can enjoy lean proteins, colourful vegetables, the most colourful vegetables, whole food ingredients, healthy fats, the stuff you'd make if you had the time, but you don't because you're busy and important. No refined sugars, no artificial sweeteners, no refined seed oils. 100 rotating meals every week. Each meal will rotate in front of you, so you like on a lazy Susan, and you can take bites from every part of the meal. High protein, calorie smart, Mediterranean, GLP-1 support, ready to eat salads, and new Muscle Pro collection for strength and recovery.
Astonishingly, it's never frozen and it's ready in 2 minutes. No prep, no cleanup, no mental load. So you should absolutely check out this Factor stuff. It sounds like total food wizardry to me. It's not motivation to eat better, it's elimination of the reason that you don't eat better. If we could use Factor in the nation in which we live, then we would be using it, you'd better believe it, lickety-split.
Yeah, unfortunately it's bath sponges and old shoes for us. But you don't have to live like we do. Head to factormeals.com/momcan'tcook50off and use code momcan'tcook50off to get 50% off your first Factor box plus free breakfast for 1 year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easy with Factor.
Let me just crunch down on this remote.
It's pretty good, actually. Luke, have you noticed how dogs in DCOMs are always owning people, aren't they? Or inheriting money and spending it on large sofas shaped like bones and things like that?
They are, and I wonder at how much energy that must take. It must take an awful lot out of a dog to be doing all those ownings. How do you think they do it?
Yeah, I guess they must be eating premium foods. Like, for example, the kind of food provided by the Pets Table.
I see.
Personalised
the
dog
Pets Table.
food from the team behind HelloFresh. They offer both human-grade fresh and gently air-dried options, or mix both. You can see what your dog prefers. There are 9 recipes, all formulated with a board-certified vet nutritionist who has never been owned by a dog.
I'm not surprised. I
They
personally would love to be gently air-dried, and so I can only imagine that a dog likes the same to happen to its food. The air-dried plan is shelf-stable, needs zero prep, and unlike kibble that's highly processed at high temperatures, the Pets Table is minimally processed to preserve actual nutrients, ones that dogs love like protein, vitamins, antioxidants that your dog needs to support gut and immune health, a healthy coat, and an active lifestyle like a dog likes.
Now, I know I say I would eat dog food all the time, but honestly, their human-grade fresh food does look like something I would eat. But that's a good thing.
Yeah, all
and
the
each
time,
plan
you
is
say.
customized for your dog's specific needs based on their age, weight, activity level, and more to keep them lean and healthy with allergen-friendly and even seafood options. These dogs are living high on the hog or high on the prawn, I guess.
High on the prawn or the lobster.
Yeah.
The Pets Table are so confident that you're going to like this that they even back it with a 100% money-back guarantee on your 2-week trial, so there's zero risk. Just have a look at your dog's face and see if it's making a face that says, I think it's time to make good on the 100% money-back guarantee, but I don't think your dog will.
No.
I think your dog will be making a face that says, I am enjoying my food.
I might get a dog just so I can feed them the Pets Table, to be honest, and feel good about myself and about my dog. So help your dog live their best life with high-quality food from the Pets Table. Take advantage of this limited-time offer. Get 55% off your first box, plus 10% off your next 2 at thepetstable.com, and use code MCC55. That's thepetstable.com, code MCC55. You going to eat those prawns?
No, they're for my dog.
And me. Yum.
So as Will helps Allie down from the tree, they share an embrace and a look. And I'm just enjoying this film because this is the kind of thing I like. We cut to another big game, or the big game, or sectionals.
This is the medium game because it's against the Crusaders, and if they beat them, they're through to state.
Medium game, good.
Suddenly, Merlin Miles gets psychic knives in his head. That's going to hurt, he says. Jen cheers for Will, which distracts Lance, who doesn't block a player, who then hits Will, and the Crusaders score a touchdown. Will and Lance argue, why didn't you block that guy, he says, and then he's like, whatever you say, your highness, and he does a sort of like bow. And then
sarcastic bow.
In the crowd, Allie goes, whoa, did Lance just bow at Will?
Realising that she's regarding the real King Arthur.
Yeah, and the real Lancelot.
Yeah, so the Crusaders win, unfortunately, and the commentator helpfully explains to us, the viewers, that with this loss, the knights have to beat the undefeated dragons next week if they want a ticket to state.
Yeah. It's quite convenient for this film that all the local sports teams are named after knight stuff.
Yeah, the Crusaders, the knights, the dragons.
And the dragons, yeah.
The Grails.
Will sits alone on the bench. Later, Allie comes over and asks if he's okay. He says he isn't. He's pretty sure that Lance let me get sacked on purpose, like he wanted me to get hurt. Why would he do that? Well, says Allie, here's the thing. But suddenly, Marco snakes into frame. Hey, superstar, way to get hit like a girl, he says, with Dennis Reynolds' energy. Get out of here, says Will. I can't. Daddy said you'd give me a lift, he says.
So Will and Marco walk off together, and as they walk off, Marco does the zip mouth mime aggressively at Allie like a massive creep.
I think this is the point where I lost patience with the character of Miles, because my notes here say, later Allie sits on the porch, up rides f***ing Miles. Christ, I hate this character.
Oh. So up rides Merlin on his dork bike. She confronts him about his visions. Are you psychic or something? Don't say that word, Allie, says Miles. Suddenly...
Are you Merlin or something? Don't say that word.
Don't say that word. Suddenly everything gets very, very serious, and we learn all about Miles's hard times. He says he can't tell anyone his awful secret. She says that she's his friend and tries to coax it out of him. He says, I'm already enough of a nerd, Allie. The last thing I need is something else making me different. Sometimes, says Allie, being different is what makes us great. And he spills the beans. He says, ever since I was little, I've got flashes of the future, but recently it's got more intense and more painful. Allie asks why he came here, and he said that he had a vision of us reading the book, the Order of the Bear book. It has a secret page.
Yes. Oh my God, says Allie, and they go inside. They slide open the sealed page. There's it's 2 pages stuck together, and they have to use a knife to sort of cut it apart in this sacred book.
I think I would notice 2 pages stuck together if I was reading a book.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Mum and Dad aren't very conscientious, I guess. The sacred book pages are opened and Allie is amazed. She reads, "The king returns anew at the meeting of the moon's shadowing and a million falling stars. What in the heck could it mean?" she says. "Maybe an eclipse is the shadowing of the moon." Yeah, obviously. "And a million falling stars? A meteor shower, perhaps. Maybe when both happen on the same day? No, that can't be. That only happens once every 1,000 years, says Miles. He Googles it on his BlackBerry, and on the A Stargazer's Dream website, it says that a total eclipse and meteor shower will happen on the same day in 2 weeks' time.
But that's the night of the big game?
Yeah,
says Allie. My note here is, my God, I love DCOM so freaking much.
Yeah, a meteor shower and a total eclipse on the day of the big game.
I know.
When Arthur will be resurrected at the football match.
What are the odds King Arthur would make his fated return from the grave on the day of the big game? These films are so choice.
Allie's like, it can't be, but she cannot argue with a stargazersdream.com.
No.
And she realises that Arthur is coming back. And she's excited for this. But why?
But why?
Why would you be excited for Arthur coming back?
You would be excited for Arthur coming back because he's going to usher the world into a new age of enlightenment.
Okay, well, as an American,
yeah,
who lives in ostensibly a constitutional republic,
yes,
would you be excited for this sort of autocratic rule of a king? Just on the sort of horizon?
Yeah, but he's going to be a kingly president, isn't he? He's going to be... If Arthur had known about democracy, he would have done that.
Right.
If it had been invented when Arthur was around for real.
Yeah, he'd have done that for real. Yeah.
He would have done that. He would have had the constitution, but he didn't. So he had to sort of make do with a round table.
But when he sees it, he's going to absolutely
love it. He's going to lose his mind. He's going to be like, this is it, man. Lancelot.
This is the one.
You seeing this?
Lancelot, you seeing this?
Hey, Lancelot, what do you... Lancelot, why is your...
Lancelot, I get to pardon a turkey at Thanksgiving.
Lancelot, why are you covered in lipstick?
Wait a minute.
King Arthur pardoning the turkey with like full Arthurian ceremony.
Oh, Lancelot, you got to come over here and say, wait a minute. Why do you smell like Guinevere?
Oh, no reason. Hey, why are you having sex with Guinevere?
Yeah.
No reason.
Hey, didn't you have an illegitimate child with your sister? Guys in glass houses, mate. Yeah,
touche, Lancelot. You got me.
Carry on. The book continues. Beware Mordred, Arthur's half-brother and sworn enemy, who is tasked to destroy Arthur before he even knows himself to be king. Allie doesn't like the sound of this.
No, destroy Arthur? As in permanently? Miles and Allie are afraid, obviously, for Arthur and Will. They run to Dad. Okay, listen, Dad. Say King Arthur came back and Mordred came back to destroy him. What would he do? Dad is like, oh yeah, I thought this might happen.
It's like, Dad, without missing a beat, Dad is like, well, obviously, I know exactly what would happen. Mordred would make Arthur's perfect world fall apart, make Arthur lose faith in himself and his destiny, and cause infighting amongst Arthur's knights, crushing Arthur's spirit so completely that he would lose the will to go on.
Hearing King Arthur mentioned somewhere, Mum sprints over. She sort of...
Mum smashes through the wall like the Kool-Aid man. What was someone talking about, Arthur?
He told Arthur about Lancelot. She's saying what Mordred did. He told Arthur about Lancelot and Guinevere. Arthur was so betrayed that he didn't have the strength to go on, Mum explains. Well, what you just said, it's happening, says Allie.
Yeah.
It's Will. Will is the reincarnation of King Arthur.
I told you, Paul. It's really him. I knew it. I told you we were right to move here.
Whoa, wait. We moved here because of the prophecy?
A little bit.
And you already knew it was Will.
I had a hunch, which you just confirmed. Of course, we won't know for sure until he wields Excalibur.
Oh, and where is he supposed to get that?
It says here any sword in King Arthur's hand becomes Excalibur.
Pardon?
Any sword in King Arthur's hand becomes Excalibur.
I know.
But I thought it was cool.
Very cool. Now we just have to keep an eye out for Mordred.
Oh, stop. This is ridiculous. Even if this were real, which it isn't, if Mordred were here, it'd be very hard to spot him. Unless, of course, Will has an evil stepbrother. I was kidding. Will has an evil stepbrother?
Evil doesn't even begin to describe Marco.
I need to do some research.
So that's why Mordred didn't want me to tell Will about Jen and Lance. He wanted to be the one to ruin Will's life.
I love this so much, Mum being like, I f***ing knew it!
I knew it! I knew it was that boy on burnished hoof or whatever.
His coal black locks or whatever.
Which he doesn't have.
He doesn't have. I told you we were right to uproot our family and move them to Avalon. Oh.
So they vow to do more research. So has Mum just been moving the family around the nation, checking out promising young boys
checking out heroic boys.
Heroic boys who may have who may have a step or half brother they don't get on with and may be being cheated on. Hey,
you're inviting them to barbecues.
Yeah, you're a promising young lad, sort of valedictorian and all that.
How are things with your girlfriend?
Yeah. Mind if I ask her? Are you banging anyone called Lance? No?
Yeah.
All right.
Or anything that sounds a bit like Lancelot.
Okay.
Jeff a lot. Anything.
Jeff a lot. I think that could be it. That's it. I'm moving the family.
I'm moving the family to Wisconsin.
To do what? To do what? Like, so Mum believes that all this stuff is real.
Yeah.
But what it says in the book is that all of these characters are going to be reincarnated, including Mordred, who's going to destroy King Arthur before he even knows he's a king. So is Mum just like, I think that would be cool to watch? How would she even know if it's happened? Like, it could have happened ages ago. If Mordred destroys Arthur but before he even knows himself to be a king. So how will anyone know that this happened?
Also, the Order of the Bear has a really specific timeline for when this is going to happen, according to the book. It's when the meteor shower and the eclipse happen at the same time, which only happens once every 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So what's the Order of the Bear been doing for the last 1,000 years? Nothing.
Falling to infighting and petty disputes, I guess. Because now there's like 4 members, 1 book, and even though the fated day is this week, they accidentally stuck those pages together.
during a particularly raucous mead session in the late 1400s.
Fermented honey got all over the page.
And they're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll just do other secret society stuff then. Do you want to get weird masks and,
I
don't know, manipulate the world economy? Yeah,
Thought you'd never ask. Yeah. Oh my God, what is Mum's deal? She's nuts. Okay, my note here, and I'm just going to read it verbatim. I have been seeking high and low for the prophesied return of Tom Sawyer. My God, this boy is painting a fence, and his best friend is called Bluckleberry Bin.
It's definitely there. It's definitely him. So what do we do now? Well, I guess we know he's back. So let's just enjoy whatever he gets up to. Oh, he's going down the river on a raft.
It's just good to know. My God, if this tome is to be believed, Frodo Baggins will return on the winter solstice. And then what? Well,
this local boy has large feet.
Yeah, well, it says that also Sauron will return and kill Frodo. So maybe that happened and we didn't know.
Yeah, maybe that did happen.
Oh my God.
It's entirely possible. Anyway, I've heard there's a local boy called James Blonde.
James Blonde.
He's kind of a secret agent in a way.
Yeah.
He's quite secretive.
He's a so secretive boy.
A secretive boy called James Blonde.
I think we should parachute him into another world government. See what he does.
Oh, he died. Well, this another great meeting of the Order of the Bear, everyone.
Got lasered in half by this other boy called Mlofeld.
Anyway, I've got a strong hunch that this bear at the zoo is Paddington.
Paddington, is that you? Was there a real... There was no real Paddington. I know there was no real Paddington.
Was there a real Paddington? A real anthropomorphic bear in a duffel coat.
Was there ever a real Paddington? What do I mean by that? I know what I mean. I mean Winnie the Pooh was a real bear. You know, it was a bear in London, and A.A. Milne was like, look at this kick-ass bear. I'm going to devote my life to it.
Damn. I don't want to think about anything but this bear for the rest of my life.
Okay. So Allie and Miles leave. We don't have time for research, says Allie. We have to warn Will now. But Miles points out that Will probably won't believe them. But what if Marco tells him about Jen and Lance before that? Like your mum said, reasons Miles, it's Mordred's biggest weapon. He won't use it until he's sure it's the final blow.
That's right. Suddenly a psychic knife shoots into Miles's head and he sees a vision of Excalibur. If what I saw was what I think I saw, he says, it was pretty awesome.
Okay, good. But Miles, you were aware that no one else actually saw, so could you say?
Yeah.
Could you give some information? Yep.
Maybe you're Merlin the wizard, says Allie. Merlin was a psychic.
No, he wasn't.
I doubt it, says Miles. Wrong.
Like, what do you mean Merlin was a psychic? He was a wizard. I mean, obviously, he wasn't anything, but in the story, he's a wizard. He does magic. A wizard is not a psychic. They are
Maybe she meant sidekick, like Arthur's sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plausible.
Merlin was Arthur's sidekick.
It's just annoying because a psychic and a wizard are like different categories of thing, aren't they? They're like different classes.
I mean, there's like branches of wizardry that you could align with being psychic, like, I don't know, soothsaying or anything, but Merlin didn't do that, did he? Pretty sure.
Also, I'm sure Merlin could use his magic to sort of see things that were far away or whatever, or get visions of the future, but that's because he's a wizard. The difference, it's like a wizard does magic deliberately. It's like, now I'll do some magic to see the future. Like,
yeah.
Merlin
then
couldn't
like,
just...
I hope Merlin's got something up his sleeve for this battle, and he sort of falls over and starts seizing on the floor. And then
okay,
something random happens, some wild magic goes off. A bus appears in the clearing. You're like, oh.
I was sort of hoping that you would summon up a great wind to
blow our enemies away.
Confuse our foes. But no, you're sort of writhing around on the floor.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
I can't do it if you're watching.
Anyway, Miles says that it's doubtful that he's Merlin because Merlin had a long white beard.
And he doesn't.
He asserts this with total confidence, even though Merlin wasn't real, and even if he was, it doesn't matter.
There's no depictions of him.
Yeah.
So back at Avalon High, class begins. It's the final test on King Arthur. You have 45 minutes, says Professor Moore. The kids start writing. He walks up to Will and he says, "What is that on the bottom of your shoe? Give it to me." Will does. It's a piece of paper. And it looks like a cheat sheet to me, says Prof. Moore.
Oh my gosh. It's not mine, protests Will. Don't lie to me, Professor Moore retorts, heartbroken. I expected more from you, he says. Will pleads. Lance is like, oh my God, Will, if you're caught cheating, you're out of the big game. I don't know why he sort of says this out loud like this, as if to remind Professor Moore, that's something he can do.
The only recourse he now has. Yeah.
A conflicted Professor Moore decides to give Will the benefit of the doubt because of his exceptional record. And from the back of the room, Marco, aka Mordred, goes, special treatment, like that.
Yeah. So he knows he's evil. In the halls later, Allie tells Marco that she knows it 'twere him whom planted yon cheat sheet.
Yes.
You don't know, says Marco. I know more than you think, says Allie. Yeah. We cut to training. Everyone know the new play, asks Will of his brave football knights. We don't need to. We have cheat sheets, they say, and show that they have cheat sheets sellotaped to their feet and butts.
This is such a weird prank. Why does the football team care?
Yeah.
If you're on the football team, you'd be like, woo, close call. Our captain nearly got kicked off the team for cheating. Luckily, he managed to get clean away with it.
No, they have a very strong sense of fair play, these guys. They don't like to see cheating in any form.
No, they don't. Yeah. And the way that they've chosen to show this is by gluing pieces of paper to their asses.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Allie watches the team's, I want to say scrum. What's it actually called when all of the football players mash their heads together?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a scrum in rugby. Scrimmage.
Scrimmage. Gridiron. What's gridiron?
Huddle.
Is gridiron
Huddle, maybe?
Huddle? No, huddle's when you get in a circle and talk about strategies.
Oh, I don't know.
Message us and also apologies.
Yeah.
Okay, so she hallucinates that they are knights and looks terrified at her vision.
We see a football boy hike a ball at some NPC and Will gets in his face and demands that he apologises. I'm sick of some of you guys acting like you own the field, he says. Lance tells him to let it go, like Lancelot would, but he won't. He's the team captain and he's not happy. Maybe we should find a new team captain, one with a sense of humour who doesn't cheat on tests, says this evil football boy. The round table of football is fractured.
It's happening. Will's kingdom is being eroded from within, just like Camelot was.
Yes.
Later, Allie finds Will doing press-ups, not in workout clothes, which seems so unwholesome to me. He's going to be so sweaty. Professor Moore notices them from behind a bush and observes this interaction.
Yeah.
Allie tells Will that he stood up for himself and that she's proud of him. Will says, maybe I should just be a jerk. Seems to be what everyone expects from me. You're incapable, says Allie. You know who else was brave like that and who stood up for people?
And who wielded the glowing sword Excalibur.
I really like this because it sounds so much like she's about to say Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. You know who else cared for others?
Yeah.
And had long hair and a beard.
You know who else stood up for people? Will.
Will. Yeah, but he gets interrupted. He sees Jen. He's like, I've got to go. We'll talk later. There's something I've got to try and do, he says, referring to Jen.
Yeah, he walks off being like, there's something I've got to try and do. We're not going to find out what that is, are we?
No.
But anyway, she bumps into Professor Moore, spilling his books all over the floor, and the two of them get to chatting.
Allie, what's on your mind?
It's about the book. The Order of the Bear?
Oh, no, I didn't leave a coffee ring on it, did I?
No, it's fine. The thing is, we found a secret page, and it said... We're probably not going to believe this, but it said the return of King Arthur is happening now. And I think that...
You think it's Will?
How did you know?
I've had my suspicions. If anyone at this school is the reincarnation of King Arthur, it's Will Wagner. Amazing, isn't it? King Arthur walking the halls of Avalon High.
Then does that mean you'll help me protect Will from Mordred?
Of course. And I assume you have a guess as to who that is as well.
I don't think it's too hard to figure out.
I suppose not. Don't worry, Allie. When the day comes for Arthur to rise again, Marco won't stand in anyone's way.
Okay, so Professor Moore has joined the adventuring party.
Yeah. We get a sudden flash of the joust from the
There's a
start
gas
of the
leak
movie.
in this town.
Yeah. I again, Mr. Moore immediately on board. She's like, Will is the reincarnation of Arthur. And he's like, I knew it!
Didn't I say?
Just as I suspected. Just as I suspected, the best local boy is Arthur.
Knew I should have put money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a brief shot of a knight charging with lance along the seashore, and then we cut to chemistry class. The class is about to do some kind of chemical reaction. Allie is teamed up with Miles, but she can't stop staring at Marco, aka Mordred. Then Miles gets a psychic knife vision.
Yeah.
After the vision, we don't see what it is, but he runs over to Will's beaker of chemicals. This beaker, he says to the class, has been tampered with. The teacher dismisses this is foolishness.
He says
It's
he
like
prepared
nonsense.
the beakers himself. They're fine.
Yeah.
He shows by pouring his own beaker, and it's fine. Miles is mollified.
Yeah, well, he
and hands
didn't
it
say
back.
he didn't say that one had been tampered with. What kind of teacher is this? This one's been tampered with.
No,
that sounds like exactly the kind of bull that some like high school kids would do, and the teacher's like, I think that's unlikely.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's all pour them in.
Yeah, so they do. Suddenly, Allie's beaker turns black. Everybody duck, she says, and it explodes. Allie and Miles are sent to the nurse. Something is very, very wrong here, says the teacher.
Yeah. You really should be more careful, hisses Marco.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you get close to something you shouldn't, you get burned.
Yeah, so consider that at the end of the film when you know what's going on.
So Allie and Miles chat, and she resolves to tell Will everything tonight. We cut to the night of the big game.
Yeah, sad music is playing. Will arrives in his truck. Allie paces the steps of the school. Will gets out of his truck and walks past Lance and Jen, who are parked in the car next to him, nuzzling each other's napes. He's like,
he looks into the car and sees this, and they see him, and he runs off. Jen and Lance, maybe be a bit more discreet.
This is like, I mean, in a night in Camelot that we watched with Whoopi Goldberg, Lancelot and Guinevere, they were at least like in a secluded part of the castle.
Yeah,
they weren't like on a horse next to where Arthur parks his horse doing it.
I would say, yeah, Lance and Jen, if you're going to have an affair, try and make it so that there is an opaque substance between you and the person you're trying to deceive.
Yeah.
Like, not something that's transparent or just air, which is what Jen and Lance
Air
mostly
is
do.
transparent, just
air
FYI.
is transparent. Yeah, they just mostly just sort of kiss and smooch in view of absolutely everyone.
And nuzzle each other's napes.
And now Will has seen a nape nuzzling. So he drives off in his car angrily.
The music gets all angry as well.
Will, goes Allie. We see Marco observing. We see Professor Moore observing Marco. Everyone observes everyone. Everyone is concerned. And Allie runs after Will's Jeep.
Yeah, she runs all weird after Will's car. In the locker room, the team suits up for football. Where's Will? They ask. Lance tells the boys what happened.
Well, he says, oh, he's really upset. He kind of saw me and Jen together. And everyone nods like, oh, yeah, because you're banging.
yeah.
It's like, he doesn't even say like, Will found out that me and Jen are together. Like it's a surprise to literally know. Even the coach is like, oh yeah, no, he found out. That's bad.
Oh, we're
gutted.
toast. He says,
Gutted. We all had like a bet going on how long you could keep this hidden.
Yeah. Allie continues to run. She is pursued as well by a hooded figure, who we are to believe is Marco. Will is by his wishing tree. Allie shouts for him, but is pushed down a hill by the hooded figure, and she sort of rolls gently down this very shallow incline.
Yeah.
Allie shouts Will and runs to her prone form, and the figure flees.
Are you okay? They embrace. But who would push you? Mordred, says Allie. Will is like,
Who?
Mordred from the history
From
of King
Arthurian
Arthur?
legend?
She says that she has something to tell him. Yeah, I know. Lance and Jen, I already saw them, says Will. And Allie's like, no, it's not that. And she spills the beans on Will's great destiny.
Will, listen to me. This isn't just about Lance and Jen. This is about fate. This is about your destiny. You aren't just Will Wagner. You're King Arthur. And today is the day that you rise above all the lies and the backstabbing and the self-doubt and start back on the path to changing the world. You're the one everyone's been waiting for.
Allie! You're right. Today I am like King Arthur. I have to be a leader. I have to face adversity and overcome it.
What?
Yeah, it's a metaphor. I get it. I'm the team captain. I can't leave my teammates behind. Hey, Miles, can you give Allie a ride?
So, like Arthur himself, Will has gone back to the football game to rally his knights and win it, leaving Allie unaware of the danger he's in.
Yeah, Allie shouts after him that he literally is King Arthur and must literally watch out for Mordred, but he doesn't listen. We cut to the game. The backup quarterback is f***ing it up pretty badly, but then Will shows up. Timeout is called. Nice of you to show up, Wagner, says the coach. He joins the team. I'm here now. I won't let you down. Let's get back out there, he says, firing up his team. We see Allie and Miles in the crowd. She looks at the moon. It's full and clear. Maybe we're wrong, and it's not tonight, she says. But suddenly, all the floodlights on the pitch go out. In the sky, concurrently, the northern lights, a meteor shower, a lunar eclipse, a UFO, a witch flies across the moon. It's all happening. Santa Claus is sleigh.
Mufasa's up there.
It's all going on simultaneously.
If it's a paranormal sky phenomenon, it's happening.
The sky's chugging. It's too much for the RAM that the sky has.
The sky can't render.
Can't render this many things.
Yeah, it looks like a 1995 adventure game developer ident. You know, like when you fire up a game, when you fire up an old game, you would get like a special bit of graphics. Just like, yeah. Everyone stares up and is like, hey, that's pretty cool. And then it stops and the lights come back on and the game resumes.
Yeah, I think it's quite an ask to ask A, the crowd to pay attention, and B, the players to pay attention during a total lunar eclipse and a meteor shower during an outdoor game.
I would maybe reschedule, if you know all this stuff's about to happen, and they do know it's all going to happen because it's, it's just astronomy, isn't it?
Stargazersdream.com, everyone's on there all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone's got like notifications from there pinging on their Blackberries.
Yeah.
But anyway, the game gets underway again. Will makes a long pass, but he gets immediately slammed when one of his linemen misses the block on purpose. That's for not showing up, says his teammate standing over him. I don't know what his teammate is doing here. Does he want to lose?
Apparently.
I guess.
This is the highest stakes game of the season.
Yeah.
That was a cheap shot, shouts Lance and attacks this evil player. The knights have fallen to infighting.
No.
Is Mordred making them act like this? Asks Allie from the crowd.
At halftime, Lance approaches Will in the locker room. He says sorry to Will. He says, I did it all wrong.
I don't want to lose you as a best friend. We are truly like Knights of the Round, brothers. I'll break up with her. Don't, says Will. You don't mean that, says Lance. But Will explains that Jen and I haven't been close for a long time. You're happy, I'm cool with that. And they do a sort of elaborate bro grab.
I really like the way that Jen and Lance talk about their affair in like completely inevitable terms. They're like, listen, Will, I'm really sorry that you found out about the affair this way.
Yeah,
but like
this affair that was always going to happen as we were magnetically and inexorably drawn towards each other.
It's fate because, Will, I am the real Lancelot.
And Jen is Guinevere.
And
as such, we are fated to be together and to betray you.
There's nothing we could do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they shake on it. It's a bit weird. Will does another pep talk for the Knights. All we have to do, he says, is remember what victory felt like. It's kind of the same speech that Allie gave him in the woods.
It's based on Allie's speech that she gave him, and he repurposes it for his men.
The words are powerful and the Knights rally. Knights united will never be divided, they chant.
She's very inspirational, Allie, almost like King Arthur in a way.
She is, in a way.
Yeah.
On the way down to the field, Will thanks Allie, but he runs off again to get his helmet before she can tell him that for real he's King Arthur.
Yeah.
So he's left the locker room and has now gone back to the locker room. 1 second later, Lance charges up and goes, "Where's Will?" And Allie says he went to get his helmet. And Lance says, everyone thinks he's losing it, even though, like, he just gave a rallying speech and I thought he brought them all around. But fine. That was literally 1 second ago, but never mind.
The announcer says that the Dragons have never lost this season when they were ahead at the half. The announcer earlier said that the Dragons were undefeated this season, which, I don't know, it's not important, but it really annoyed me.
Yeah, you don't need to say, do you? You don't need to... Yeah, specify.
Allie sits back down in her chair. 3 rows behind her, we can see that her dad is wearing a head-mounted flashlight and poring over an ancient tome in the crowd. Mum gives her a big thumbs up. So they go to try and find Will. He's not in the locker room. Miles, concentrate. Tell me where he is.
Use your Merlin powers.
It hurts, Allie. It hurts, he says. I know, she says. He concentrates, psychic knives fly into his head.
It's so funny. He's like, it hurts, Allie. And she says, I know, and looks at him as if to say, well, go on then.
Go on then. Yeah. And he's like, fine, and a psychic cutlass scythes through his head.
He goes, ah! He gets a vision of Marco bundling Will into the Julius Caesar Theatre.
They just couldn't miss the great production and such cheap tickets still available.
Increasingly cheap tickets still available. So they run to the school theatre. They find Marco on the floor outside, all woozy. He's like, where's Will? They ask, and there's a thumping sound from within. They run inside the theatre, and I see at last why they've done this, because the Julius Caesar set dressing looks a little bit Arthurian
in a way.
Why not make it a production of Macbeth or King Lear or Henry V or any of the other ones that would look more like merry old England?
Very old England.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the end of Scream 2. The big climactic confrontation is going to happen in a theatre.
Yeah.
Staging a production of Julius Caesar.
Yeah. So Allie tries to tell Will that Marco is out to kill him.
Will!
Allie!
What has Marco done to you?
Marco? He was trying to warn me.
No, Marco is Mordred. He's trying to destroy you before you figure out who you really are.
What?
What I told you tonight, it's not a metaphor. Your destiny is to change the world. You are King Arthur.
You should listen to Allie, Mr. Wagner.
Mr. Moore?
She's absolutely right about everything. Except for one small detail. Marco's not Mordred. Oh, no. I am.
No, it's not possible. You can't be.
Ta-da. Surprise ending.
Oh my God.
Andy, did you gasp?
No, this was so obvious from like from like the 20-minute mark. This is what was happening. He's called Mr. Mordred.
Mordred, Sagra Mordred.
Yeah.
He's okay, yeah, fair enough. So it's quite funny though, because he sort of steps forward out of the shadows and is like, well, you figured clap his evil plan, and then he gets 1 second into his monologue and then Marco body checks him into an orchestra pit.
Checks him into a cymbal hole.
Yeah, he goes, ah! So that that's what you heard at the end there, is Marco pushing Professor Moore into Mordred, let's say, into an orchestra pit where he lies as a crunched up bone heap under a load of guitars and drums and stuff. Are you okay, Will? Asks Marco. And Allie is baffled. She says, you've been trying to destroy Will. Marco, however, can explain all of his behaviour in the film, and luckily for the makers of this movie, Professor Moore is regaining consciousness quickly, so there's no time to ask follow-up questions.
My father was in the Order of the Bear, he says, showing a preposterous pendant that hangs around his neck. When he died, I swore to continue on. Why were you a dick, says Allie. I needed to get Mr. Mordred to trust me.
What?
Brackets, so that I could spear him down a hole.
What? 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 Okay. Now's as good a time as any. I'm going to do a Control F for Marco. Let's go through all of the things Marco did and see if they see how they make sense. Okay, the first thing he did was to take Miles's locker. Remember, he sort of pushed Miles around in the hall and was like, Miles, brackets Merlin, you POS, give me your locker, and was like hurting him.
And Mordred saw that and was like, good.
But he wasn't there.
He probably heard about it on like the bullying subreddit that the school has.
But also, why would he think that? Why would that make him trust him? Why would you be like, that boy is a cruel bully? How is that?
Because
how does that?
Because later on, when you're standing next to a hole, you wouldn't expect him to spear you into it.
No, you would. He's behaving exactly like someone who would just cruelly and opportunistically push someone in a hole for no reason.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make a lot of sense. Allie, you're right. He says, Will.
No. I'm not done with
my.
My Control F is not nearly done, Andy.
No, but I want to cover his line. Treating you guys the way I did was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
Yes.
So continue with the ways he's treated them.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, he just stared horribly at Allie a lot when no one could see him and no one could see what he was doing.
Yeah.
He stares daggers into Allie's back. Oh yeah, that's right. He puts all those plastic ants all over the hot dogs.
It was the hardest thing he ever had to do.
At a weekend barbecue that, needless to say, Professor Moore was not present at. and did not hear about. Maybe he was hoping that through the grapevine, the man he knew to be Mordred would get word that Will's half-brother had put plastic ants all over the hot dogs and this would somehow advance his aims.
You're right. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
It doesn't make a lick of sense. What are you doing? Then there's a bit where Marco confronted Allie and was like, I know you know that Lance and Jen are cheating on my jerk of a stepbrother. Keep your mouth shut and stay out of my way or else.
That was the hardest thing he's ever had to do.
I guess he did that because he thought that if Will (Arthur) found out about the affair,
he would fall to despair.
But doesn't he know that, isn't the whole point that it's like Miles (Merlin) was saying that it's Mordred's secret weapon, this knowledge of this affair, and that he would be deploying it only when it was the final blow?
Yeah.
So couldn't the Order of the Bear easily diffuse this by gently informing Will, hey, I think you should look closely at Jen and Lance. I think there might be something there, and maybe reflect on how you seem to have drifted away from Jen. Maybe
maybe this is the best thing for everyone. Yeah.
I feel like if you were in the Order of the Bear, you could do that. Okay, so Marco's dad was in the Order of the Bear.
Yeah.
And
but then
so
his dad died.
So Marco's dad died in the line of Order of the Bear duty at some point.
Yeah, he was destroyed by Mordred.
Destroyed by Mordred off camera at some point.
Yeah.
Somehow. It seems a bit of a cruel twist of fate that Mordred gets to know he's Mordred long before Arthur gets to know he's Arthur. That's not really fair, is it?
Yeah, a bit of an advantage, certainly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the hardest thing he's ever had to do.
Allie looked at Will and Marco went, drool much.
Yeah, another hardest thing he ever had to do.
Hardest thing he ever had to do. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm going to stop now because there's just like more of this thing. The plastic ants is just... the hardest
classic,
thing I ever had to do.
Classic Order of the Bear stuff.
I had to do that to protect Will.
Yeah.
Okay, he says, Allie, you were right. Will is Arthur, and Miles is Merlin. I only did what I did to keep you and Will out of danger. And as this happens, Professor Moore, (Mordred), clutches his cane and it transforms into a dragon-headed staff with glowing eyes. And magically we see his arms and hands become wreathed in gleaming plate armour.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Let's get out of here, says Allie. But suddenly Mordred stands revealed in front of them. He has long hair and plate armour. He swipes Marco aside with magic.
Discussion point.
Yeah.
Do you think they've made Mordred too sexy?
Well, I mean,
you must have thought, like, when, the transformation from, modest.
Yeah, we haven't
Professor
mentioned
Moore.
that Professor Moore walks with a cane and a limp. He has like glasses and sort of slightly scruffy hair.
Yeah, and he walks kind of bowed in a sort of like modest kind of like, Professor.
But he throws away the cane.
Way.
His hair is like long and flowing.
Yeah.
He has no glasses anymore and he has a sort of trimmed goatee now.
He's like a more angular Aragorn.
Unfortunately, he looks a lot like a magician, I think.
Well, he would, but he is in like full plate armor, which I think helps.
Yeah.
And by helps, I mean makes him not look like a magician.
He's
got a cape.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
He looks good.
I think they've made him too sexy.
But he's swiping people aside with his staff. I was going to destroy you by simply crushing your spirit, Arthur, he says. But I can see now I'll have to take care of you all the old-fashioned way. Will is swept aside. Allie, too. Miles tries to throw stuff at him, but he has sort of bubble shields that zap them away.
Miles bounces off the magic barrier.
Suddenly, Allie draws a prop sword from the ground and stands in front of Will. Stay away from him, she says, with her plastic sword raised. Mordred chuckles. You think a silly toy sword will stop me, he says. He swings, but suddenly the plastic sword starts to very, very, very slowly transform.
What's happening?
Any sword in the hands of Arthur becomes Excalibur.
No. It's not possible.
It was you all along, Allie. You're King Arthur.
I am? I am King Arthur!
You're absolutely right, Andy. If I was Mordred and I saw the sword start to transform, I'd be like, oh, see what's happening here? And I would use my lance to
batter her to death.
Stove in everyone's head. So at the end there, we flashed to the beach from the visions. Allie is now on horseback in full plate armour.
Yeah.
And from a rocky outcrop, here's Miles in full Merlin robe regalia. He stands before a vast CGI castle that looks pretty good.
Yeah.
He shouts, Allie, behind you! And she wheels the horse around and charges down the beach.
Yeah, she charges her destrier through the surf. Mordred's knights and Arthur's knights ride towards each other, as we saw in the beginning. Mordred and Arthur clash. Allie is blasted backwards off her horse by dark magic. She lies in the sand and Mordred stands over her. But Excalibur is here. She takes it and they circle each other.
Yeah. Allie's horse canters off towards the ocean to drown, I think. So they start to circle each other in slow motion. It looks good. My note says it looks good enough. In my memory, it's been like hours since I watched it. In my memory, it was quite good.
Yeah, it's good enough. I thought you could be the Lady of the Lake, but King Arthur, says Mordred, Arthur can't be a girl.
And yet here we are, says Allie. They clash swords. Mordred's blows are dealing a sort of elemental force damage. When he waves his staff, a sort of rippling air distortion of like that.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. He snarls beast-like. For a minute, it seems like he's going to transform into a dragon, but unfortunately he doesn't.
I've written, she swings Excalibur inexpertly. She sword fights like she runs.
Oh, I think you and I got different things from this scene. I wrote down every single maneuver and blow because I was just loving it.
This is top line stuff. I've got sparks fly as they clash. Night Will is also fighting a holy paladin alongside her. Sir Lance is here and he clashes with Mordred's knights.
Yes. So Will and Lance dispatch their respective foes and make meaningful eye contact.
Marco is also a knight of the round here. He's
He's
joining in on the side.
I don't know why, because he's Order of the Bear. He's not in the
He's
story.
not a knight of the round, no.
He's not a knight of the... Yeah. As Mordred threatens to overwhelm Allie, she shouts, Miles, his staff, it's yours! And Miles, brackets Merlin, from his rocky outcrop, speaks into the sky. To the owner of the staff return, the evil hands that hold it burn! Which I think is quite poor syntax. To the owner of the staff.
To the owner, the staff return. The evil hand that holds it burn.
To the owner, but I thought it was to the owner of the staff. You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's benefit of the doubt. Anyway, the staff turns red hot in Mordred's hands, and he is forced to let go. And it flies out of his hands and into Merlin's. And in Merlin's grip, the dragon staff is transformed into a golden lion staff.
Yeah.
So I don't know how Allie knew it was his because it now looks completely different.
She knows everything. Mordred still has sand magic at his disposal, which he uses to throw sand at Allie.
Yeah, he sort of creates a cone of sand.
Yeah.
And then Force pulls a spare sword off his horse. I'm sort of rooting for Mordred at this point because his sword fighting is so much gnarlier.
Yeah, it's good.
So they clash once more. Allie kicks Mordred. She parries or gets into a bind and Mordred is disarmed. She holds her sword to his throat. And at this, everyone teleports back into school in the present day.
Yeah. Campus security walks in and says, hey, you can't be in here.
Hey, it's after hours. No one's supposed to be in here. Officer, arrest that girl. She brought a weapon to school, threatened the life of a school teacher. Good luck saving the world from juvie, Your Highness.
I'm sorry, sir. Are you saying this girl was threatening you with a plastic sword?
No, you oaf. With a real sword. This... All right, no, this is a plastic sword, but it was a real sword because she held it and it became whoosh, Excalibur, because she is King Arthur and... Oh, who's the teacher here?
We just came in to get some fake armor for the school mascot, officer.
Yeah, I have no idea what Mr. Moore's talking about.
And I'm a National Merit Scholar. I don't kidnap teachers. I suck up to them.
Wagner, shouldn't you be on the field?
Yes, sir, I should be.
Well, get out there and get us to state.
This is so funny.
Hey, you kids can't be in here.
And the security's like, well, I don't know. This boy's pretty good at football. And Professor Moore's like, well, how about this? I'm a teacher. And he's like, I don't know. The football boy, though.
Yeah, and then he's sort of dragged away shouting about how he's going to kill the girl. And everyone's just sort of chuckling at this. They're like, what a funny situation.
What a funny... the music's going like... Mr. Mortimer, he does like lunge for Allie, but the guard catches him and wrestles him to prison, I suppose.
Yeah, campus prison.
Yeah, he's like, I have to destroy her. We did it, says Allie. We stopped Mordred. But what if this is just a crazy dream? It's no dream, says Miles. You're King Arthur and I'm Merlin. Check this out. He's still holding the staff from the vision and he magically shrinks it down to be a pen.
Yeah.
Marco falls to his knees in supplication.
Your Highness, he says, taking a knee. Back at the game, Will joins in the football. There are 12 seconds left of the game, and the Knights are down by 5.
I'm a bit annoyed that, like, we have to now show the rest of the game. Like,
yeah, after the night battle on the beach, they're like, and now the real climax, 12 seconds of American football.
Yeah, featuring Will, who isn't even King Arthur. Who gives a shit about Will at this point? Anyway, he gets a touchdown. Hooray! My note is this means Will is Guinevere, so he's going to have an affair with Lance. We're going to state, they say. Will is held aloft. Marco smiles from the sidelines. Miles can't believe either. They're treating him like he's King Arthur, he says, of the crowd. They have no idea.
Yeah.
And Allie says, it's all right. I feel like I'm up there with him.
Mm-hmm. Will drops down and runs to Allie. Lance kisses Jen. Will leans in and kisses Allie. The random girl from the party hugs Miles, so everyone is partnered off.
Yeah.
As must be the case at the end of DCOMs.
Miles grins broadly as if to say, I'm Merlin and I'm Merlin with a girlfriend.
If you're the reincarnation of King Arthur, what does that make me? Asks Will. She kisses him. My knight in shining armour, she says, as the movie realises they now no longer have an analogue for Will due to the changes from the novel.
As the movie realises that none of this makes sense.
Yeah, they run off together.
Yeah.
At lunch, Allie is sitting at a round table. Hey, Marco, come eat with us, she says. Suddenly, Miles is in a green Merlin cloak and everyone is suddenly in courtly dress. A song starts playing. They're all knights and shit.
Yeah.
What the
They all put their swords in the centre of the table and we end on a slow-mo shot of Allie riding her horse along the beach and we freeze frame to credits. Okay, so we rushed through the last boring bit of there because obviously we want to talk about the twist, right?
What I want to talk about is what happens now.
Now
is the world ruled justly and wisely from a Midwest high school?
By Allie.
From that one? By Allie. Can a martial king rule in the age of firearms? If Arthur turned up and was like, hello, I'm here to impose courtly justice, you could just shoot him. Easily shoot him.
I think what's even more troubling to me is that the film kind of ends with the implication that Will is going to be president. Because, like, Will is getting all the glory, and Miles is like, oh, look, everyone treats him like King Arthur. And Allie says, oh, it's okay. I feel like I'm up there with... Like, nothing seems to have changed. Like, the people, capital T, capital P, are not sort of glorifying Allie and saying that Allie is their leader and hero. From everyone else's point of view, absolutely nothing has happened. They didn't see any of that. They don't know about all that stuff. So... Allie being the reincarnation of King Arthur. Okay. I think it's a nice twist. And I think the movie... I like that this film has 2 twists.
Yeah.
And the first one you really see coming because, you know, the Mordred reveal is kind of telegraphed because Professor Moore, as the film goes on, looks more and more evil and starts making weirder and weirder faces.
Yeah.
The Allie twist I also did see coming, but I am, like... a grown-up.
Yeah.
And, like, you know...
Well, I can tell you why I saw the Allie twist coming.
Yeah, go on.
And it's because the film opens with a shot of her as King Arthur riding along the beach.
Okay. Maybe a misstep. I mean, I guess I'd forgotten that. It's, okay, I do think it's a nice twist. It's cool, but it doesn't really make a lick of sense within this film's ontology, right? Because within the universe of this film... King Arthur was a real historical figure and they're all being reincarnated.
They're all literal reincarnations rather than like a new version of.
So nothing that was in the Order of the Bear book turns out to be true because the real King Arthur doesn't have a Lancelot and Guinevere and doesn't have a Mordred, you know? Like, Mordred is not trying to stop Allie from realising that she's King Arthur because Mordred thinks Will is King Arthur.
Yeah.
So, like, I like it. I like the twist, but it does throw everyone's roles into chaos because there's no analogue for Will. There's no longer an analogue for Lance, is there? Or Jen, because they can't be Lancelot and Guinevere.
Yeah, because Lance isn't Allie's best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Merlin is Lancelot.
Merlin is Lancelot.
And the random girl from the party is Guinevere.
No, Will has to be Guinevere because you see what I mean. You see what I mean? It's like...
Yeah. No, Will is Elaine of Astolat, surely.
Well, no.
No. Wait.
Will must be Guinevere because...
Will must be Guinevere.
You have to work backwards from...
partner of...
Yeah. You have to work backwards from Allie being Arthur.
Okay, so this is based on a novel, right?
Yeah.
And in the novel, Will is Arthur.
Oh,
so
okay.
The Allie being Arthur is a new element that they introduced for the film.
Okay.
And also Marco is Mordred in the book as well.
All right.
So it's a lot more straightforward.
Much more straightforward, yeah. Okay.
Mr. Moore is Merlin in the book.
Oh, all right. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
So I don't think Miles is a new character that they introduced in the film.
Right. Okay. Quite a few changes.
Yeah. Allie, who is called Ellie in the book, I think you're supposed to think that she's Elaine of Astolat, but she's actually the Lady in the Lake.
Oh.
And so the line when Mr. Moore says, "I thought you could be the Lady in the Lake," that's a reference to her original role in the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's taking the film in isolation, though. I thought it was weird to name check the Lady in the Lake, such a famous figure in Arthurian canon, but then not have a lady in a lake.
Not have a lady in a lake, yeah.
It could have... There was an opportunity for it because when they're fighting on the beach, like, Excalibur just sort of falls out the sky and lands in the sand. So I guess you could have had a...
they'd had, like, the lunch lady comes out and it's like throws the sword to Allie.
Mum,
but like Mom I said at the start...
Mum could hurl it out of the ocean.
That's true.
Yeah.
The girl from the party.
Yeah.
But like I said at the start, I think like the change from the book to make Allie King Arthur is nice, and it's a fun misdirection. And if they hadn't shown her as Arthur at the start of the film, I might even have been surprised by it.
Yeah. I think it's good. And it stops the film making sense completely. Like, this film would be an absolutely chaotic rewatch, wouldn't it? If nothing. But it does happen at the end of the film, right at the end. I think it's also a shame that it happens after, like, it happens so close to the end of the runtime and after so much, like, Will glazing, which has to happen for the misdirection. But then there's also loads of Will glazing afterwards. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like Allie's character is slightly robbed of her big moment. Like, getting to be King Arthur, and then what's the first thing she does as Arthur is watch Will, who's no one, win the big football game and get hoisted aloft. It's like, who cares?
It is quite funny to watch the final scene when she's like at lunch and she's like, "Come, Marco, sit with us," and then they all place their swords into the middle of the dinner table. And it's just like, this is just an insufferable high school clique.
Yes.
The round table is just a bunch of high school students who think they're incredible.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what effect is this? How is this bringing the world into a new age of enlightenment?
Yeah. Well, the film never really attempts to bridge that gap, does it, between the court of... It's like, yes, there are parallels here with the court of King Arthur and high school. It's kind of a nice conceit, isn't it? Because high school does have all these hierarchies and people fall into...
Structures.
And like people fall into like tropey sort of roles, don't they, in high school drama? So you can definitely... it's the same reason that you can set like any Shakespeare play in a high school because like these roles do sort of tend to marry up. But it doesn't then try to bridge the gap between like everything that Arthur is fated to do, bring the world into... How is Allie going to bring the world into a new age of enlightenment?
From the lunch table at Avalon High.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, she's young. She's got time.
Yeah.
Arthur didn't get it all done at once.
People are like, "Oh, thank God Arthur is back. Allie, we need you to do something about climate change." And she's like, Marco, come sit with us at the table.
Well, okay.
Okay, but that's not really...
All right.
That's not really addressing income inequality.
Yeah. Allie, we need you to do something about plastic in the oceans. Okay. Yeah. A new law, no plastic in the oceans. Okay, Allie, all of the sort of billionaire financiers who prop up the nation are sort of threatening rebellion. Yeah. And their names broadly marry up with Vikings and stuff.
Yeah, they broadly map onto famous Vikings. So I guess we'll need to find the prophesized Eric Redbeard.
Yeah,
in another local high school. There's a boy called Eddie Redmayne. It's him.
One day in the cafeteria, they're all just sort of hanging out and chatting, and then suddenly, like, the Green Knight storms in and
decapitates their friend Bedivere.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, there was just a guy called Bedivere here this whole time.
Yeah, Bedivere. No Sir Sagramore, unfortunately.
No.
Oh, anyway, that was that. I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah, it worked for me.
A breezy watch.
A breezy watch. Andy, I want to read you an email.
Yes,
due
please.
to a calendar quirk of our recording schedule, I have not yet had my inbox flooded with comments on Cheetah Girls One World. But what we have been flooded with are people telling us that we mustn't be mean about Witch Mountain brackets 1975 because...
We haven't seen Witch Mountain 1975.
No, I think people who have seen Witch Mountain 1975 are desperately concerned that we might assume it's bad because we've seen Witch Mountain brackets 1995.
Right.
Here's an email from Tabby that says, you did spur me to rewatch the original, so thank you for that, and I feel confident in saying that the people who've told you they loved the movie as a kid were probably talking about the 75 version because it is the superior film in every way, except for not having Baby Brink and Brad Dourif in it, but it does have Donald Pleasance, so that makes up for it a little.
Hey.
It's a much tighter story. Things actually happen in it.
Whoa.
For example, the scene where the kids escape from Mr. Bolt's mansion on horseback happens about 30 minutes into the movie and is a comparatively minor moment in the plot. The kids are siblings, not twins, who've been together their whole lives and already know they have special abilities, so there's none of the reconnecting and discovery nonsense. Nor does the orphanage come back into play at all after they leave it. Even the special effects are better, or at least more forgivable because it was 1975, and also there is a cat. So there you go. It has a cat. I officially apologise. So now Andy lets you and I go on record as saying that Witch Mountain brackets 1975, probably a great film. Are you going to watch it?
Yeah, I'm sure. As long as there's no follow-up questions, I am absolutely going to watch it.
You're never going to watch it. I'm never going to watch it. And if I'm honest with myself, a big part of the reason is because I have seen the 1995 one. So
yeah, it's fouled the well, that one. Absolutely. Unfortunately.
Fouled the well. Yeah. But
yes, thank you for your email and for
Yes.
sticking up for the 1975 Witch Mountain, which I'm sure is a fine film.
Yeah.
If you would like more Mum Can't Cook, and why wouldn't you? You can check out our Patreon where we have bonus additional episodes where we're currently covering the 90s supernatural children's TV show Erie, Indiana, which is belovedly remembered and belovedly being watched right now by us.
Yeah.
So go to patreon.com/extra helpings to sign up. We've got various tiers available there. You can also join us for live watch-alongs of classic DCOMs, as well as get a shout-out at the end of the episodes if you're interested in that.
It's a great time. That URL once more is patreon.com/extra helpings. And if you want to get in touch with the podcast, then you can email us at momcan'tcookpod@gmail.com. Please send us your thoughts on Avalon High.
Yeah.
And let us know if you thought that Mordred was too sexy at the end. or
Don't
just
do
sexy
that.
enough.
Don't do that. Luke, you're probably wondering what movie we're watching next.
Yes.
Well, Luke, we are watching 1997's ABC TV movie, Toothless.
Toothless?
I will now read you the description.
Okay.
Heartwarming tale about a dentist who was killed in an accident. But is not allowed into heaven until she can show some human compassion.
What?
And then she is appointed to serve as the Tooth Fairy and soon encounters a boy in desperate need of a family.
In desperate need of fewer teeth.
So
oh my God.
come on back next time, folks.
For tale about a dentist who's killed in an
who is killed. Come on back next time for 1997's Toothless.
Oh my
right,
God.
Luke.
Yeah.
I think it's now that the podcast is over, it's time for us to resume our duties as members of the Order of the Bear. I noticed a local boy.
Yeah.
His name is Sonny the Hedgeman, and I think that he may be the reincarnation of Sonic the Hedgehog.
He really could be. Let's see if he's got a friend who has two tails.
Sonny Hedgeman, and he's got a friend who's called Two Tailsman.
Yeah. Giles Blower.
Yeah. He's got an evil half brother called Knuckles.
Yeah. Kilometers per hour.
Yeah. So let's go and I guess
I guess just notice. Let's just go and notice that that's happened.
Yeah. And then what will happen, I suppose. It's a good order. I'm glad you joined. Luke, I've been thinking a lot recently about how our chefs de cuisine patrons are a lot like figures from Arthurian legend.
They
aren't
are.
They sort of map exactly one-to-one onto them, don't they?
They are. They are.
Which is a bit confusing. Like, for example, Duchess, Louise Lola, Z-Man, popular character Travis's unpopular spin-off series, Quinn is Teething, Hypermole, Julian Rundlet, Who Needs to Sleep, Elizabeth, and Michael Saul. They're all very similar to Aurelius Ambrosius, Uther Pendragon's brother and High King of Britain before him, wouldn't you say?
I would say that. I would say. And actually, the more I look at Adam Snigg, Nurse Jake, Paul Stokes, Prince Reynard, Chris Pryor, Smash Savannah Burger Boys and Girl, Andy's parents, travelling chips salesman, Hef, Hannah Kirchner, and Chase Baker, the more I think that they're almost certainly the reincarnation of Isbadadin, a giant and antagonist.
It's uncanny, isn't it? Meanwhile, Jack Fabian, Eclair, Ry Medema, Danny Cap, Kyle Bain, Dave Goddard, Tony B, Andy Meany, Alex and Daisy and Bailey 2, Sarah Mattocks, and Daniel Rogers. They bring to mind no one so much as Bruno Lenoir, the knight who wears his murdered father's coat, brother of Dinadan and Daniel.
Dang, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Well, how about Autumn Holloway, our book monster, Lord of the Salt Doctrine, Come Back Here You Gremlins, Garfield.wmv, Business Corky, Mike Kavanagh, Danny Ward, Jeebus Piers-Jones, Christoph, and your secret copy of Farmer Brown Goes to Town. They remind me of no one so much as Tom Thumb, who it says here is a tiny creation of Merlin.
Merlin, please.
If you're wondering what Merlin's been up to, making a little Tom Thumb.
Good.
Okay.
Well, exploding horse corpses are good, actually. Andrew the Osteogent, Blake, Jotham Funclara, Danny Bowyer, C. Hunter, Keith Hall, Carl Clev, Limited Patience brackets Kiz, Liz L, and Cois. They remind me a lot of Caradoc, who you'll no doubt remember rebelled against Arthur when he first became king, but later supported him.
Yes,
so they made the right decision in the end, didn't they?
One of my absolute favourites. The gentle but firm alabaster hand of Mr. Wilson, Paul Stevens, Purple Disarray, Angel Beat, Courtney Rail, Will Poheretsky, Cropolio, Crescentia Che, Carl the Jedi, Zora Stingray, and Jambo number 5, I think are almost certainly based heavily on the character of Peleas, a knight of the Round Table who's in love with Etare and later becomes the lover of Nimue. So remember when you saw Nimue and you were like, oh yeah, that's the lover, yeah, that reminds me of all those chefs de cuisines.
Yeah,
that's what I think is going on. Yeah.
It's uncanny, isn't it? Ethan Pearson, E.T., the beleaguered legal department of Things Incorporated, Richard Martin, Tim Craven, The Monk, Michael Hayden, Moist Drippings, Philip Stevens, and Brendan Brazier. They really remind me of Pen Pingian, a comic character, one of the gatekeepers at Arthur's court, subservient to Glelwyd Failfor, killed in the hunt for Church Truth, wouldn't you say?
I think so, definitely. But what I really want to talk about is that one Irish lad who lives down the road, Mr. Wilson, the happy ending ATM, Adam Steele, Adam Cuddy Ruth, Anna Petahova, Tilly Everoa, Ben from Finance, Lucas Johnson, Will Thomas, and Matt Hess, who all remind me very much of popular character Morgan Tudd, the head physician of Arthur's court. Although didn't do a very good job because Arthur did die, so Morgan Tudd fired.
Good job. Clarky the Bearded Coast Driver, Jonathan Kearns, Mr. Wilson's Slender Alabaster Hand. That is a different name.
Yeah.
Clint Hannah Lopez, Simon Gansel, Alan St. George, Andrea Pallas, John Sharplin, Lenny Cropper, and Cara Dennison. They all put me in mind of Orgelus, the haughty maiden of Logres. You'll remember? The wife of Gawain.
Yep.
I think it's because they're all married to Gawain is why I'm reminded of them.
I think probably, yeah. And finally, Snowy Owl, Homemade Mask, Michael Olsen, Kate Tweedy, Minnie, Ash, Seish, and Adi Mueller. You all really remind me very, very much of Lamry, a horse owned by King Arthur.
Okay.
But look, here's what I'll say for Lamry. Has their own Wikipedia page. Is the Wikipedia page 2 sentences? Yes. I think I'm going to report this to Wikipedia.
Well, Luke, it's uncanny, isn't it? Here in this new Camelot, and you remind me a lot of Iseult of Ireland, wife of Mark of Cornwall and adulterous lover of Sir Tristan.
Well, you remind me of Maleagant, the abductor of Guinevere.
What, just because I abducted Guinevere one time?
Yeah, one time.
Fine.